Okay. So my name is Aderonke, like I introduced earlier, and the convener of Relationship Realities show, and also the founder at Mindspec Community. And okay, I think for a living, actually. So if you need a thinker, someone who would help you brainstorm to realize your goal, creativeness and all of that, innovative thinking, I am your girl. What I do is just think for a living. I don't do any other thing. All right. So I reside here in Belgium, and I'm taking actually. So, and I have a son. I have a cute boy of 7, and yeah. So that is that about me. So the floor is open. I would go to law.
I'm in a noisy place, so
We
I'm
would
outside.
manage it.
Okay, my name is Lawrence. Okay, I'm a lecturer at Pan Atlantic University. I teach film production and sound design and stuff like that. So I'm divorced. I have 4 kids. Yeah, one is going to be 19 by next month. One is 17 this month. One is 15 in January, and the other one is 10. Became 10 on March 9. So, is there another thing you want to learn about it? Well, I love music. I used to be in the music industry. I have released some albums, but now I'm into film. But what I do, yes, I've worked on some movies outside the country, but I'm here to do any production in the country, and still gathering money. It takes a lot of money to make movies in Nigeria. So that's it. Hello. Thank you.
Thank you. Over to you, Andre.
Hello guys, my name is Andrea. I'm now residing in Jamaica, was in London for approximately 15 years. I have 2 children. This year they're 28 and 26. And I'm not currently doing anything at the moment because of COVID, plans change, things have changed in my life. But hopefully this year, things are picking up and then I can add more. So for now, I'm just helping out my family members, wherever they need help. And yeah, that's for me.
Okay. Would you want us to know any other thing? Are you single, married,
Uh,
engaged?
yeah, I'm engaged.
All right. Okay.
And my fiance is in America, is in New York.
Oh, okay. Great.
I'm happy that you're a thinker, so I know who I can, tap on. Because sometimes I will think some things and wondering, how would I go about doing this? So I'm happy that you
Yeah.
said it, so I know who to connect to.
I'm always available.
Okay.
Service. Thank you. All right. Mr. Akonde, you didn't tell us if, because you said you are divorced, and you didn't say to us if that aspect of you is open to mingle.
Well, I'm open.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Welcome, Sister Jem. Welcome, Miriam.
So,
All right, Anu.
okay.
Good
Over.
evening.
Good evening.
I'm hearing something, so I don't know. I'm trying to stop laughing, hearing from you and Andre, and I'm like, oh, okay. So, good evening. My name is Anu Afolayo. Soon to be doctor by God's grace.
Yeah.
What else? Am I single? Of course, very, very single. What else? Okay, I don't know what else is there to say. What do I like doing, right? I love music. I love eating. I'm a foodie by nature, and I love sleeping. I don't like reading books. I don't like reading books at all. Okay, what else? Is that all?
Okay. Thank you. All right. So I'm just going to move so quick. Mr. Olumide, we want to learn about you. Tell us, please.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Um, Olumide Routes. I live in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm an impact measurement specialist, social impact measurement specialist. What do I like? I'm not sure I can tell specifically these days anymore. But I think I just enjoy. At the moment, I would say that I enjoy conversations that are quite meaningful, and meaningful could be makes me think a bit here and there. But on the overall, I think that's about me. Yeah, thanks.
Yes, Dr. Jeff with us. Okay. I moved to Mrs. Alabi. Miriam.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Miriam. So I actually currently I work with the Research Institute as their webmail manager, and what I like to do, I like to listen to music. I love reading. Though I've not been reading recently, like books I love to read, and I actually like having nice conversations with people. So that's pretty much it.
Okay. All right,
And
great.
yes, I'm single.
I like that. Okay. All right. So we hear that. I have I have one single in the house for now. All right. So I will take Mrs. Adeleke, then I'll go to PA. I don't actually, sorry, who is MindSpec? Who is using MindSpec? Can we know this person, please? Okay, Mrs. Adeleke, introduction, please. Is Mrs. Adeleke with us? PA, may I ask that you? Is Mrs.
Sorry, I
All right.
was muted. I just submitted myself. Okay, my name is Nilayefa Deleke. Nilayefa means there is nothing like mother. I am a trained and certified counselor based in Abuja, Nigeria. I am married with 3 amazing children.
Wow.
And I live here in Abuja with my family. Thank you.
All right. So thank you for that. All right, PA, over to you. So you PA, like I introduced earlier, PA is our host for today. And like I said, I'm just like a guest like every one of us today. I want to see the tables we want to shake, and I want to see who is going to be on it. Yes. So PA, your introduction, then you take us directly into the conversation. So I know we will come in afterwards for the video.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Ronke. Okay. So my name is Ademola Ajayi. I reside in London. So what do I do for a living? I'm a consultant, but to be specific, I'm an auditor. So one of my favorite words is why. It's a 3-letter word, but I could use that to have a conversation for 2 hours and make people quite uncomfortable. And I make a living by doing that. I'm, I'm husband to one wife, father to 2 amazing daughters, 7-year-old and a 5-year-old. I love music and love to love to watch movies, and I'm very introverted, but because of my professional life, I have learned how to communicate and understand how to just channel what I think a lot about more effectively. So yes, that's all about me.
All right, thank you. Sorry, I think I have Simi join us now. Simi, are you with us, please?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Okay, would you mind doing a brief intro about of yourself, rather? And maybe we can put a face to that name too.
Of me? Okay. My name is Simi. I'm a mother of one. I'm a single mom. I'm a product manager by profession, so that's basically into IT. I enjoy like strategizing. I don't really like doing the work, but I enjoy like strategizing, thinking about a strategy and seeing the output is like one of my greatest pleasures. What else? I enjoy music. I'm a dancer. I can challenge anybody to the dance floor. That one.
Hey.
Deep on that. So what else? Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I think I'm fun to be with. I think I'm fun to be with. Yeah. Ronke can testify. Ronke can testify.
Okay. All right. So Simi, I presume you're single, right? Like ready to mingle.
Yes. I'm single. Like I said, I'm a single mom.
Yeah, you can be a single mom and still be praying. So I want to be clear. Like, are you praying or you are really open to mingle?
I'm open. Okay, I know what you're doing. I'm open to mingle.
Okay. Hey, clarity. No assumption in this house, please. That's why we didn't invite any pastor to come. We didn't start with opening prayer. Did you remember, guys? So God is here already. Over to you, PM. Thank you for that introduction. So I believe we've heard all the intros, family. And please pick the one that you feel speaks to your needs. Any services you think, please reach out. All right, God bless you. Over to you.
Okay. So I mean, to just move us on, and I know there's going to be a video cast briefly, and I will not want to put too many things on the table before that video cast. I would, and if you've been following the chats in the group, you must have an idea what we're talking about. But I would like us to look at that video cast, and then when we come back, we pick up from there, because I think just looking at that video will set the tone for a couple of things that we're going to be talking about for the next 1.5 hours thereabout. So Anu or Ronke, over to you.
Yeah. So I'll share my screen now.
Awesome.
Give me some idea how your life routine. Right, I'm going to ask you both to just give me some idea how your life routine was before you got together. So,
Well, speaking for myself, of course, I went to work, I got back, I worked on my business. Sometimes I would go and see Paul, obviously do the whole cooking here and there, and he would cook for me. And, you know, if I was in a dirty environment, I would try and clean up, but that's pretty much it. I didn't feel as though there was an obligation to do these things. I didn't feel like it was my duty to cook, for example, you know.
and how was your daily routine?
Literally up in the morning, out with a few clients, come back, work on a few more clients online, food preps. So I'll probably prep for like the next 4 to 5 days, something like that. Tidy environment.
Right. So, how has this changed since you've moved in together?
I'm his chef and his cleaner.
That's how you feel?
Yes, it is how I feel. I've got a busy schedule as well, but Paul likes it when he gets home from work and food is ready. Since I've moved in with Paul, he now wants me to cook every time I have time. In the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon, every second weekends when I come back from work. Honestly speaking, he was eating prior to me moving in, so I don't understand what's going on. It wasn't takeout, you were cooking, so why don't you cook? And the thing is with him, he likes fresh meals. I'm not going to cook for you every day, I'm not your chef. Again, I'm a Nigerian woman, I don't mind submitting to my husband or my boyfriend, and I understand the importance of feeding him, but Paul eats meal preps. He eats rubbish, bland food, unseasoned food. And I don't mind doing that, maybe on a Sunday evening, but he would like me to prepare these horrible dishes every single day.
At any time, do you ever eat the same meal together?
Let me tell you one of my biggest problems. He's kind of denounced our cultural foods.
Oh.
Yes. So he has issues with the fact it's oily. Even though he eats ice cream and he has takeout, he finds it too heavy. You don't have to eat it during the week, but on Sundays, for example, we can have a dinner. We could have some African dishes and that's one of the reasons he actually fell in love with me, my cooking. And all of a sudden now it's too fresh or it's too heavy and it's too fatty. There's too many calories in these dishes for him.
Have you always watched the calories and your weight, presumably, if you're watching the calories, or is this a new scenario?
It's a very good question. I feel like Choma is very selfish. What's funny?
How am I selfish? Because I want to cook for you.
Okay, but what's funny though?
The fact you just said I'm selfish.
So
what does that
when you
mean?
were talking, I wasn't laughing.
No, well, first of all, I'm not selfish. I would like to cook for him, but he makes it very difficult to cater to him when I'm busy as well.
Based on the question she asked, in terms of my food history, you basically have knowledge of it. You know, I don't know you to tell you anything about myself, but here we are. I'll give you a tiny bit of background. So I actually went through depression at a stage, and food was my outlet. So at that time, you know, if I was going through stress or anything, I used to eat, and that was just me making myself feel happy for the short term, but damaging my mental in the long term. It actually took me quite a while to, you know, lose the weight, get into shape. And, you know, since I've kind of got back onto track, I've been very basically religious and strict with my workouts, you know, my diet and stuff like that. You know, I literally have a board in a room which shows, you know, what I plan to eat. This is something that I take very seriously.
I feel bad. I feel like I've let him down in some way. I don't understand why he didn't feel comfortable enough to speak to me about it. And it really does upset me that, you know, I'm hearing about it for the first time in our therapy session.
I didn't tell Choma about my depression because I feel like, first of all, it's something that's very sensitive and personal. And at the same time, she can be quite insensitive as well. So, you know, if I'm just going to just kind of give off something just like that, it's easy for her to kind of use that to manipulate and potentially push my buttons, basically. And I wasn't going to have that.
And just excuse me, were you doing this when you were together?
Can I just point something out? This is my problem with him. So he's just expressed something to you that he's never expressed to me. I had no idea that he was depressed and used food as an outlet. You've never, for once, told me that, and we've been together 3 years. So of course, me wanting to make you traditional food is gonna come across selfish if I don't know this knowledge. To me, he wants me to do meal preps. You want to live a healthy lifestyle, which is absolutely fine. But the fact that you used to cook before and now you don't want to cook is what I'm complaining about. I had no idea that you were depressed, babe. Like, you could have easily said that to me. We could have had a conversation about this and I would never bring it up.
Okay. So let's look at it like this, right? Okay. I used to cook for you, right?
Yes, you did.
What did I used to cook?
He would make like rice, some stew, chicken.
Do you see me eating that now? Let me ask you a question. If you know that the way I've kind of changed my food and lifestyle has made me into the man that I am, and if you're happy with what you have, why would you... Does this... Okay, look, okay, babe. All right, look at me. Not in a cocky way, but just look at me.
What does that mean?
Do you like what you see?
When I met him, he was fat.
Oh, really?
So, yes. So he started gymming, yeah. And my African dishes, these fatty dishes, also built you to the man you are today, correct?
African
You
dishes,
loved it,
the majority of
correct?
African dishes are filled with carbs. Muscles are built based on protein, so technically speaking...
Well,
that's
you
what
can eat beans. You can eat beans and yam porridge. You can eat all these things. Can you not?
I feel like with Choma's diet, she doesn't take it seriously. Considering what I do, the people I work with, and the results that I get, the results I've got for myself, I think that should kind of motivate her to want to take her diet more seriously, but she doesn't, and that's basically...
Sorry, but is something wrong with the video? It looks like it's frozen, or is that just me?
Yeah, same here. Anu, are you with us?
Okay.
Who'd like to start on that one?
So Deborah claims that she doesn't trust me, which is, what's the word for it? Mind-boggling, because I feel like trust is so important in a relationship. If she doesn't trust me, why exactly are we in this relationship, honestly?
Have you ever given her a reason not to trust you?
Never.
Excuse me?
Before, I don't think there's actually a particular time. Well, there's actually never.
So you never lied and said that you were somewhere and you were somewhere else?
No, I never.
Memory loss, sounds like.
What are you talking about?
So Jamel told me that he was training a client.
Which I
and
was.
Actually, he wasn't. He was just at his boy's house. Now, he wasn't actually doing anything wrong, but you said you were training a client, but you were at your friend's house. It's just little things like that. It's dishonesty, and it really didn't have to happen to me. You could have just said that you were at your boy's house. That's it.
Was there a reason why you didn't say where you were?
I literally went to go and collect some equipment. That was the only reason. Then I went back to my training my client.
No.
Yes.
That's not what he told me. Now it's a different story, because you said that actually you wanted to train him that day, but then you ended up chilling. So then now you're saying that you... Okay, well, his story is just not adding up, Jamel. Like, I don't want to talk about that. Jamel is just too dodgy. Like, we're always having female issues. There's too many females around him, whether it's Clubhouse or his fitness. We're just always having issues about it, and that actually increases the trust issues that we have, and more reason why I'm always seeking to find out like where he's going or what he's doing.
I think you did mention before that some of his ladies that he trains you're not happy with.
One time I decided to stop off and pick up Jamel from one of his training sessions in Brixton, and you know, he didn't expect me to come up. I went upstairs and I was just like hovering around, and I wasn't really understanding the kind of contact that he was having with some of the females. It was a little bit close. Yeah, it was too close for me. And yeah, that's another thing that he does that I find, you know, quite strange.
Is that within the realms of your job, though?
With contact, I rarely touch any client. I feel that's literally a PT protocol. Like, you never touch them.
I don't think you were touching. I would just say, you know, just the interaction, the verbals. Like, I could hear what you guys were speaking about, and it wasn't entirely about training.
So what was it about? If you...
You know what you were speaking about with that girl. Like, let me not even name drop, because you're not going to want that, okay? So you know what you were doing, Jamal.
I feel like you're just so fixated on something. I feel that's the issue with Deborah. Once she kind of has her mind set on something, that is it. And there's no change in that. I feel like it's a bit too much. It's overbearing, honestly.
So,
Denise, can I? You're familiar with palm oil, right?
with
Palm oil?
palm oil, yes.
Yeah. Do you eat it at all?
I don't know.
Why?
I've never used it in cooking, so
Okay. It's quite bad for you, actually. It's quite bad for your insides. So, but at the same time, if you know, to be fair, if you did use it in cooking in terms of, well, proportionately, you know, if you weigh it, stuff like that, some people don't do that. But if you did, then maybe you'd be able to calculate what you're eating. So in theory, what I'm trying to say is, I don't have an issue with African dishes, but if the calories are not calculated, you're just filling your gut and you don't even know what's going on with your body.
You do have an issue with African dishes, because if you're talking about calories, like I said before, he eats ice cream, he eats donuts, he eats donuts, and he also eats takeout, so pizza and etc.
It's calculated.
I don't need to calculate. Did your mum calculate when he was making you African dishes? These foods are not calculated. I calculate with my eyes. So I know how much palm oil I put in there. I know how much oil and ingredients and Maggi I need to put in these dishes. My ancestors never calculated. My mum didn't calculate, nor did my grandma. Nobody that taught me how to make my traditional food is not calculated.
But is there some way that maybe you could prepare the food in a more healthy way that would be more suited to the way Paul wants to eat?
I'm not going to remix jollof rice or remix pounded yam and F4 I'm not going to remix that. That's how it's supposed to taste. If you remix it, it becomes something else.
But there must surely there's a way that you could work together to find food that works for both of you.
I think he's just become bougie. I think for him, he feels like eating these kinds of food makes him look bad, or you feel some type of way, maybe eating with your hands. Is that what it is?
I disagree.
So I've actually realised that Paul's got an issue with African dishes. We're Nigerian. We grew up on these foods, so I'm a bit confused. I can't eat African food every single day, but I wish to incorporate it into our lives and our dishes. You know, I am African. I'm proud to be African. I'm proud to be Nigerian, and I'm proud of the dishes I cook.
When we first started dating, right, you know, we used to. I remember I took her to this restaurant in Peckham. It's called Lolak or Lolake. There's that. When we go there, we're getting down. It's kind of like a real bush. No, let me not say bush, but kind of, you know, you get down, you use your hands and all that stuff. But when you kind of think about it, you know, if I'm wearing a 2K suit, do I want to be in Peckham Market? No. I'd probably want to be Piccadilly Circus.
So in other words, you're saying that I'm bush?
I'm not saying you're bush.
Because we go out to high-end restaurants. I would still love to eat pounded yam and efforiro. It's always going to be a part of me.
No, that's
what I am telling you, Paul, babe, is that we eat it, we incorporate it into our lifestyle. We don't have to denounce it. For what? For steak? What are you talking about? These things are two different things.
What I'm saying
You don't need to wear a 2K suit. You can wear jeans. He's pissing me off. You can wear tracksuits.
Yeah, but
Do you dress like this 24/7?
I'm not wearing clothes 24/7.
So growing up, my mum and my grandma actually taught me how to cook all these dishes that I make now. I'm not going to disrespect them by quantifying and measuring every single ingredient that I put into it. For me, this is how it's supposed to taste and this is how it's supposed to be made. This whole westernized way of cooking, that's how they make their dishes.
Shoma, what is coming over here is that you both have a different plan. And at some point, if you were to both get onto each other's page,
Preach.
it would be an easier solution.
Period.
there's no period and there's no preach. So stop doing that because that's patronizing. He's exaggerating. He's telling you like I want him to eat palm oil every single day. I don't do that.
Fucking fry it every day.
No, I don't fry palm oil every day.
No. I'm getting a tiny bit pissed off. Let's think about this now. All right, let me give you a case scenario, right? So, let's say I'm up in, give or take, Mayfair, training a client, huge mansion, right? Now, I'm preaching, eat healthy, be fit. Come on, let's go. 5 more reps, right? I get home, we've got the fucking Afrobeats whiz kid pumping in the house, yeah? Chubba's there dancing around, frying oil in a fucking pot. What the hell? There's a fucking spray that you can spray to calculate the thing. I've told her this a million times. You come in the house to fucking play a whiz kid like we're in a fucking village. What type of crap is that?
I like Afrobeat. I also listen to other genres. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't eat palm oil every day. I don't know what house you're going to, but I don't eat palm oil every day. I would like to eat these heavy foods maybe on a Sunday. I also eat steak and salmon and sea bass and everything else that he eats, just seasoned, all right? What I'm trying to say is the fact Paul does not like African dishes. We are both Nigerian. Do you understand? Like we come from a place. So he's denounced his culture all for his Mayfair clients. This is my issue. Not that I want him to do it every single day.
With the greatest respect, the Mayfair clients aren't in your house.
So why does he come home with that same attitude then?
Choma has this whole kind of Afrocentric type of, go back to Africa, I'm African and I'm proud. Yeah, we're all proud to be African, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, we're in London right now. Like, let's get with the program. Do you understand? Africa, yeah, we could do that another time. But right now we're here. Let's get to grips of what's going on.
So most of the people you train, do you actually know them?
There's a couple.
Yes. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry, Denise, but yeah, that's the answer. We'll get.
yeah, there's a couple I do know personally.
Okay.
One being my ex.
I'm managing, Denise, managing.
Okay. Have you met her then?
Yeah, I mean, we've crossed paths and she seems nice.
So what's the issue?
I mean, the issue is that I don't trust you, so that's the issue there.
Oh,
but she, the ex, is okay.
Okay. But you've got no reason to worry about him with the ex, have you?
See, the thing is, I don't want to be possessive or controlling, as he says. So I feel like I've done pretty well to allow him to continue to train his ex.
Wait, don't you think the use of word is the word allow?
Yeah, but Jamel,
controlling.
No. If I didn't want you to train her, you won't be training her.
And that'd be the same money that'd be buying your next Gucci bag, right?
No, but we're talking about your ex. If I did not want you to train her, let's be honest, you wouldn't be training her. So that I have allowed you to do that.
No, I don't agree.
Do you know what? At the start, when Jamal told me that he was training his ex, I didn't really feel too comfortable, but I met her at like a party or something, and she was pretty cool. And for that reason, I was able to make peace with the fact that he's training her. So yeah, I'm okay with it. If I'm not trusting his interaction with his general clients, his ex, where they have history, it's a little bit funny, but we'll leave that one there.
The same way I allowed you to get Afro Nation. Okay.
Sorry, what was that?
The same way I allowed it to go Afro Nation. So it is a party island, so catered for Afro beats.
And you're both going there, are you?
No, she's going by herself.
Oh, is she? Are you?
With her friends, I guess.
Wait, can we just rewind? First of all, you trust me, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. So you're not allowing me to go Afro Nation because...
Yes, I'm allowing you to go Afro Nation.
No, that's what we're not going to do.
Wait, hold on. Do you remember what happened the year before you went and all the stories that you came to fill me in?
Yeah, it was a good year, but at that point I was single, so...
True. Wait, let's clarify this. I allowed you to go. As my girl, I allowed you to go.
Because there's nothing that I'm going to do at Afro Nation that you're not going to approve of. So you didn't allow me to go.
Hold on.
I'm able to go because I'm fine. Like,
if I told you not to go Afro Nation, would you go? That's my point. You guys know, like, Afro Nation is wild. Like, the stories, the videos, the Snapchats, you name it. Like, it's crazy. So me personally, like, I'm secure, but me allowing Deborah to go because I trust her, that's what it's all about, right?
I got something for you. 1 second, please. I'm just going to quickly. Jamal, I'm going to need you to please
read to Denise what it says on there, because I don't want to embarrass you. So just, please, I need you to read it. Because you said you wasn't going to Afro Nation, isn't it? You said you wasn't going to Afro Nation. Jamal, just read it.
Take your phone back, man.
Jamal, can you read it, please?
All right, cool. It just says, thank you for your order. Jamal, innit?
Order for what?
You know what it's for.
Okay, Denise, so this is an Afro Nation ticket, the event that Jamel said he's not actually attending. Says, thank you for your order, Jamel. Please ensure you retain a copy of this email and use your order ID in all correspondence regarding this order for Afro Nation 2021. This is dodgy as fuck. Like, when I first found the Afro Nation ticket in Jamel's emails, I thought, okay, let me not say anything. Let me see if he actually tells me that he's going. Like, I'm not being funny. You thinking, did he actually think when he did this? Because what do you expect to happen when Afro Nation actually happens? It's very, very strange. It's another reason why I don't trust him.
So you are going?
Jamel obviously didn't know that I actually saw a screenshot of the ticket for this festival that he said he's not going to. So now when I say you're shady, do you understand?
Babe, it's not that. Ugh, do you know what? I was just going to surprise it, to be fair.
No, that's ridiculous. Surprise me.
Yeah, why not?
Now you're being childish because you were going because you had ulterior motives and you didn't want to tell me.
Wait, my ulterior motives?
Listen,
I was really surprised you having a good time, to be fair.
Listen, what you did was you mentioned the fact that in 2019, crazy stuff was happening. As a guy who has a girlfriend, I don't feel like, and with your behaviour, I do not feel like Afro Nation is a place for you to be in. Regardless of that, you said you wasn't going. I let you know that I was going. I'm open with the things that I do. Like, I'm open. I don't mind. I did ask him if I could go, and we came to an agreement. It's not about allowing me. We came to an agreement.
Yeah, an agreement which I allowed you to actually go.
Okay, anyways, we came to an agreement. And the fact is, you knew that I was going Afro Nation. Like, the way you're playing it, that's actually pissing me off.
What's the big deal?
Are you all right?
If I wanted to attend, what's the big deal? Like, if I wanted to surprise you, that's not a problem.
Listen.
That shouldn't really be a problem.
Can you find it in anywhere within yourself to somehow compromise the way you want to eat so that you're both working together?
Well, I can easily gain weight and be fucking nutty professor, if that's what you mean.
Or you can easily cook for yourself. Because again, like I said, I don't mind if he eats that, but just make it yourself. Or we do it on a Sunday.
Yeah,
all this fresh food every single day. I've got things to do.
Yeah, brilliant idea. We did speak previously about whether or not you had anything in common, that you do together. This would be possibly a perfect scenario.
If I had the time.
On a Sunday?
Go on.
Look, okay.
Or you just choose not to?
No. To be fair, Sunday, day of rest and stuff, okay, cool. But if I have a client and they have, a fashion show coming up, one of the models I train, basically, I need to make sure that I'm on her case to make sure that she's getting the job done. If I have another client, for instance, in terms of like a website design...
Who are you lying to? Who are you lying to? Because remember, Denise doesn't live with us. I live with you to know you have time. Okay? I'm not saying you're not busy. You are, babe, I get that. But you have time. You can make time during the day. He knows he can. So what are you lying about? You have time to cook, Paul.
Okay. I could find...
All this body, he's wasting it because we don't even have sex. So stop all your rubbish.
Ooh, that's a low blow.
On that note...
That's a low blow. Woo, it's going to be a long night. Let's go.
No, please don't make fun of it because this, is a very important scenario. You talk about your business in a very serious way.
Yeah, it is.
And your relationship is also a very serious business.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Shoma has just mentioned the sexual side of your life. Now, has it always been this way? Or when you first got together, was it very different?
When we first got together, we used to fuck like animals. Do you understand? We had things to do. We were still busy. You and I, we had jobs. We had businesses. We were busy, but we made time to have sex. Now, I don't understand what it is. I don't know if Paul is cheating. I don't know if he doesn't find me attractive. It doesn't. Okay, well, ask him. When was the last time we had sex?
Scientifically, yes, we are animals, but we're not in the bloody forest, are we? Do you understand? Like, I'm not just gonna come home, start jumping up and down like a rabbit. Like, who's got time for that? I'm busy, I'm making money. Like, I'm not just there laying around with my legs open, ready to do a madness. It's not like that.
When last did you fuck me?
Do you really want to go there?
Please, no, answer the question. Do you remember? Because I don't.
I'll tell you.
How can I be in the same house touching myself with a boyfriend in the same house with me?
Okay, no, Denise, I've got this.
Right.
Okay.
Let's just hear what Paul's got to say.
All right, babe. Babe, I love you.
So why don't you touch me?
When I come home from work and I see my girlfriend, right? When I just see her, I'm happy. That's love to me. That's enough for me. But at the same time, why do you feel like you need me inside of you 24/7 before you can feel loved?
I don't feel like I need you inside me 24/7, but I'm not wood.
Okay,
Okay, I'm a woman, and I find you attractive, and I would like to have sex with you once in a while, even if it's once a week, babe, because we don't do that.
I understand that I might have a high sex drive, but Paul has a very low sex drive, and we can meet in the middle somehow. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind having sex at least 3 times a week. We are not even having that a month. So, of course, I have every right to complain. I feel that it's a disrespect to him and to myself that I'm having to touch myself in my house when I live with my partner.
What you need to do first, right? I understand that you love me, but I also understand I love me, okay?
So you don't want to have sex?
No, what I'm saying is, you need to love you first.
I love me.
You need to love you more.
To do what? To not be able to release?
No, in order for you to not feel like you need me to be inside of you before you can feel loved.
Don't let me suspect you, because at the end of the day, I don't understand what this means. I could be in the house with booty shorts, Paul will walk past me.
You want me to say, hey, you're wearing booty shorts?
No, you can touch my bum, I don't know, slip it in or something. Do something that men do to their girls when they see them. Honestly.
Shoma, do you ever instigate sex with him?
All the time. There's a situation where we planned to have sex. Paul was, I don't know what happened, he agreed anyway. I'm so embarrassed saying this, like we organised the day where we were gonna have sex. I went out, I bought lingerie, I bought rose petals, wine, I dimmed the lights, everything. Paul came in, do you know what he did? He ate and he went to bed.
I have to get him on weekends and we have to put it in our diary because he's very much about diary, let's schedule this, let's put this in our diary, blah, blah, blah. He's trying to make me feel unattractive, even though I know I'm sexy as fuck and I know there's men out there that would want what he doesn't want. So for me, it's like, if you don't want it, then let me go kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so that day, long story short, had a late night. So one of my clients, one of my top clients, he's only in the country 2 weeks out of the month. He lives in Abu Dhabi, long story. Anyhow, so I actually set him a target. So because he was going on holiday, I assumed that he wasn't going to reach that fitness target. And I had a bet with him that if he exceeds the target, I'll run 10K in front of him. So with clients like that, I can't say to them, oh, I'll give you a discount. That doesn't work. You need to do something. So long story short, he hit his target and I ran the 10K, right? By the time I got home, I was knackered. Now, Choma basically wants me to carry her that night.
Not necessarily.
Did you say anything about your situation at work, or did you leave Shoma not knowing why? Because it might have been read as if you weren't interested.
Of course I'm interested. I'll be about it.
No, I don't think he is, because at the end of the day, I knew nothing about the 10K. He agreed to have sex that day, so why are we not having sex?
No, because...
You let me go out and buy lingerie, you allowed me to cook, you still ate the food, why were you tired to eat?
I'll tell you the problem that I have with Choma, right? I feel like whenever she initiates sex, it's not genuine. And what I mean by that, but let me explain. No, I'll make it, it's gonna make sense now. So she has different approaches, right? Sometimes I could be at the door, she's dragging me in from the tie. You understand? Other times, she could play it cool. She could say, okay, you know what? She's gonna cook this, meal prep, by the way. She'll cook this. So look, listen to this, right? One day, long story short, by the end of the night, she had the rose petals, she had the candles, she had the massage bed, right? So I'm laying down, I'm getting the massage, and I just think to myself that, you know what the funny thing is? 1,000,000% that massage has to end with a happy ending.
Why are you saying it like I did something wrong?
But that's not a happy ending.
Sex is not a happy ending.
No, if a massage has to have a happy ending, that is not a happy ending. Do you see where I'm coming from? We can just look at each other, you know, just have a conversation, even sit in silence. It doesn't necessarily have to be the bang bang. It's not like that. I just like a calm vibe. Like, let's be chilled with it. Let's be mature.
Why am I having to do these things in order to have sex with my man? Why do I have to lure him in order to put him in a position where, okay, he might want to have sex with me?
I'm a sapiosexual.
What does that mean? Are you not attracted to me?
Of course I'm attracted to you.
Then why are you not trying to have sex?
No, I'm trying to have sex, but at the same time, mentally, right?
You're not there.
I don't want to feel like, okay, anytime you're doing something because you want something.
Okay, so why can't you initiate it? Why do I have to do something? There are days where I don't necessarily do anything. Why can't you just come to me and, you know, try it?
All right, look at this.
Hang on, no, I've got an idea. Okay,
What's wrong with
this
you?
is something that we do regularly in therapy. Just for a moment, take a minute and let's go back to what made you fall for each other in the beginning, okay? Bear with me. I would like you to turn and face each other. Don't say anything and just look into each other's eyes for approximately, it's going to feel like forever, but in that time, you will find something within yourself that was there at the beginning. Just believe me, this does work. So just please, just turn and face each other and look into each other's eyes. If you wouldn't mind, thank you. It's not supposed to be a penance, by the way.
Sorry, I'm just... So what do? We just look
at each other.
And then what happens after that? That's it?
Just...
Okay.
How big is this affirmation?
It's pretty big, I guess.
So would you see each other if you were there?
That was a joke. It was not something I was going to hide from her, really and truly. How can I even hide from an affirmation? Like, affirmation is quite small. She's going to see me regardless.
Denise, the thing for me is the fact that he lied. Let's call it what it is. You lied. You said you wasn't going, and on your laptop, I found the festival ticket booked. How are you going to explain that?
The funniest thing about it, I actually personally didn't buy my own ticket. So,
God.
So my friends obviously went in 2019. Obviously, they was going to go in 2020 as well. So they thought, let's all go together. So I thought, she told me that she's going with her friends. I was thinking, that's cool. I was going to go anyway. So obviously my friend said, yeah, let's all go. I thought...
You're actually waffling now. You're waffling and you're deflecting. Can we please address the fact that he lied, Denise?
I didn't lie. I just wanted to surprise her. Honestly.
So, you know, the one thing that does have to happen in a room in therapy is that both of you are as honest as possible. So I really do need to know whether or not you're being honest in your answers.
Yeah, I'm being honest. Like, I genuinely wanted to surprise her and have a good time. Like, I'm sure she was like, if my friends and myself popped over with your friends and yourself, you'll just have an amazing time. Like, well, that's limited money you have to spend, really and truly.
I'm not buying it. I'm so sorry, I'm not buying it. You lied, that's it.
We're just going to leave it there for a second and do a little exercise that's going to help highlight the trust within your relationship and show the openness. So I'd like you to each tell each other something that the other person doesn't yet know about you. So something new.
New.
Would you like to start? Can you think of anything?
I guess I got... yeah, I'll go first, I guess. I kind of used to like your sister before I met you, you know?
What sister?
Yeah.
What sister?
Yeah, M-class, innit?
You used to fancy her?
She was just pretty, innit? Like,
so I'm second best.
No, you're not second. Don't put it like that. It's just we had similarities and stuff. No, I'm not going to go too deep into it. But obviously...
So you fancied M-class before me?
It's not that. It's not that big of a deal. It's like, I'm still with you now.
So why don't you move to M-class then?
Because I saw you.
Yeah, no, that's strange. I don't like that. That's really weird. That's very strange. I'm not a fan
It's
of
really
that. I'm
not
not
that
gonna
deep,
lie.
man. Honestly, like, don't play too much into it. It's just, yeah. Just,
Why did you tell me that here, though? Just asking.
what's
That's very awkward and embarrassing. What am I actually doing here? Jamel is now bringing up that he used to fancy my sister. I'm not really liking this process of therapy. We're supposed to be moving in the right direction and making progress, but now he's bringing me information like this. It's embarrassing. But that's okay. I got mine, Denise. So, Jamel, I made an OnlyFans account. But I haven't used it, but I made an OnlyFans account.
You've got a what account?
Oh, OnlyFans account? So,
Wait. You got what?
an OnlyFans account. I'm not gonna use it. I didn't make it to use it, but maybe I'm joking. I made an OnlyFans account.
What is this account?
So it's basically so people can subscribe to your account and then you can do like private things on there, sometimes sexual or some like could be a fetish or something. So yeah, that's what it is. I made one.
Okay. How does that make you feel now you both know something about each other?
I can't lie, I don't even care, you know.
I feel great. I feel better. You didn't like the task?
When Denise set this task, I didn't expect it to be like this. I thought it'd be light-hearted. But the fact that she came to drop to me that she got an OnlyFans account, she's crazy. Like, she talks about trust, about me, this and that, but how the heck am I meant to trust her when she got an OnlyFans account?
I get the feeling that you're not feeling so happy about things.
No, I feel like, what's the point of even coming there? Like, I'm pretty much over and done with this.
This was your idea.
Yeah, my idea, and I just thought it would be better for us, but it's not going any better.
Okay, well.
For face value, I understand, bald head, beard, I'm a hunky guy. I lift heavy metal, I get it. But, coming home and technically every time we have sex, having to carry my girlfriend, it can be a bit exhausting.
First, you don't have to carry me every single time we have sex. And even if you did, like, what's the issue? You used to carry me before. So are you lazy now or what?
Things were a bit different.
In what way? I've gained weight.
I didn't say that.
Then what then? What's the problem?
Well, would you know if you gained weight?
All my clothes still fit, so I wouldn't think I've gained weight.
Would you know?
I guess, yeah. I haven't gained weight. Have I gained weight? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm not trying to say you gained weight, but since we're on the topic, let's have the discussion. So, random question. Just out of curiosity. In the last 6 months, have you weighed yourself? I'm just asking.
What?
Okay. Have you ever calculated your calorie intake? Yes or no?
What are you trying to say?
Yes or no?
I don't calculate my calorie intake.
So, okay. If you didn't calculate it in the last 6 months, the last 3 months.
Yeah, but I still eat the same.
You still eat the same? Okay, cool. Do you calculate what you're eating?
Paul, what exactly?
No.
You're saying something.
You brought it up. Let's have the conversation. I didn't bring it up. We're in therapy, and it's a safe place. Let's have the conversation. Now, if we really want to break it down a bit.
What are you saying?
No, I'm not saying you're fat. But you just said I didn't say you're fat. You're the one that said the word fat. Did I say fat? I didn't say fat. What I'm saying is...
Why are you getting so defensive?
I'm not getting defensive. She's trying to put words into my mouth. Do you understand? I never said she is fat. She's the one that brought it up. And, when you kind of look at it, she's technically, psychologically taking accountability for her own mistakes in terms of like maybe her diet or fitness or anything like that. It's not my fault. This is an issue she has for herself. She knows what I do, right? And at the end of the day, between the both of us, we've had discussions where she has mentioned that she wants to lose weight, right? And I said, great, I support you with that, right? However, when it comes to me trying to kind of keep her in check in order to motivate her to achieve her goals, it becomes a problem. She says I'm calling her fat. I didn't call you fat. I'm saying that you haven't been tracking your intake. Therefore, technically speaking...
Therefore, you can't carry me during sex.
No. It's not... Look, forget about the sex for now.
Because you've got
you
liver.
said fat. You said fat and you said gain weight. Let's stick to that topic. Yeah, because
Is that why you don't want to have sex?
No, it's not that. But I just want you to kind of be considerate sexually, right? At the end of the day, if you're not the person doing the lifting, then you're not the person that's gonna kind of look into or calculate the weight.
So in other words, I'm fat.
I didn't say you're fat.
Babe, just say what it is.
No, I didn't say you're fat. You're the one that said you're fat. I didn't say you're fat.
So I'm fat.
I didn't say you're fat. You said you're fat. Don't put words in my mouth.
Paul, please lower your voice slightly, first of all. And secondly, would this be a reason for you not to be
with... Okay, cool. Do you know what? Do you know what, yeah? I'll be honest with you. Yeah, hand on my heart. Yeah, I swear. I will be with you through thick and thin. I promise. I was chubby before, and she loved me the same way. She used to, when I used to have my transformation
So
pictures,
I'm chubby.
she would show all my friends.
Babe, so I'm chubby.
I didn't say you're chubby. I'm speaking for myself. I said I
So
was
what does
chubby.
that even mean?
But
Why
now,
are you
this is
comparing
insecurity.
that situation?
No woman wants to hear that she's put on weight, especially by her partner, somebody she finds physically attractive. The fact that he's not even being direct about it is what's pissing me off, because you feel a type of way and you're going around bends around the bush. Yeah, I think he's being very insensitive right now, very disrespectful. And I don't really know why I'm here.
You're getting offensive, and I know when you do that, that means you're trying to say something, but you're not saying it with your chest. That's why you don't want to have sex.
This is
you're
a
no longer
space where you
attracted to me.
can say however you feel, but please don't attack each other. Just...
Did I attack her? Okay, did I attack her?
I'm not physically, no, but verbally, it's coming over.
How? She said she is
embarrassing.
fat. I didn't say she's fat. She said she's fat. So how is that me attacking her verbally? I'm saying what she just said.
I'm tired. How long? Because you've just called me fat.
I didn't call you fat.
And there's cameras around, first of all. And now this is the first time I'm hearing it. So this is obviously the reason why we don't have sex, because you don't find me attractive anymore.
That's not true.
And you're saying it for the first time in front of cameras.
That's not true.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm keeping that. Thank you. I'm done. I don't want to do this no more.
Okay. I can appreciate that it's been a difficult session, but if you wouldn't mind, I'm just going to send you away with some homework.
Yes, fine. Can we just do that quickly? Thank you.
So what I'd like you to do is write down 5 things, both of you, 5 things that you appreciate in each other, and 5 things that you have done for each other. So it doesn't have to be on one day, obviously. Over the last few weeks, can you think of 5 things with both of those subject matters?
Okay.
Shoma, please, just calm down.
I'm calm. I'm okay.
Okay. You know, things do get very heated in sessions, and, you know, sometimes things are said that are taken in the wrong way, but...
Denise, can we leave?
I can see that there's real value in you as a couple.
Denise,
I can't believe you said that on
you're
camera.
making it worse, Denise. Can we leave now?
Yeah, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Babes.
Fucking talk to me. I can't believe you said that on fucking camera.
Babe, come on.
Okay.
The way
All
things
right.
have played out in terms of the whole weight gain and stuff. Sometimes I try to motivate her, and the push might be a tiny bit too much for her. So I'll be accountable, and I'll say, look, I can take my foot off the pedal and just kind of sit back with this and, kind of let things play out easily, I guess.
I've always thought, anyway, that Paul's had an issue with my weight, just by the way he behaves and constantly telling me to do certain things. But to actually hear it is very painful. I don't want to hear that he doesn't find me attractive, especially when I find him very attractive. I don't even... Yeah, this is too much.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I've been seeing the chat room buzzing. Yeah, Paul, Chioma, Jamil, Deborah. I took notes of like 7 things here, but I'm gonna pause and I'm just going to say, ladies and gentlemen, can we just, I mean, how did that clip go? Thoughts? I'm seeing a couple of things in chat room, but I'd like people to just speak up. What do we feel? Who's going to open the mic first? Come on. This silence. Is that
Can we first agree that this show is scripted?
So
I don't want to.
Okay. So on that part, Jem, I would like us to look at it this way. Regardless of whether those people in the video are actually saying those are their real lives, do we all first of all agree that those things happen?
Of course they happen, but maybe I'm aghast because it's the first time I'm watching this.
Yes.
I've never seen any episode of this blue therapy before.
It's actually
so
breaking the internet right now. It's everywhere.
Oh, really? Okay, good for them. So for me, it just strikes me immediately. I know this is scripted reality show, so that's fine. I just wanted to put that out there because I'm not sure if everybody believes this is also real. But having said that, of course, the issues that have been raised are real. These are things that go on in relationships. Even though I just felt they've got too much time on their hands. But there are main issues. I mean, if you think about the, there are key issues.
Jem, could you hold on, please? Please.
Okay.
Jem has the floor. If you are not speaking, could you mute your mic, please? So that we can get the best out of what Jem is saying. Thank you very much. Jem, back to you.
And then I think for me, one of the things that just strikes me, that stands out for me is the issue of the intimacy, the lack of sex between them. Because I thought those are young people. I mean, typically you're all over each other. When you are at that age, there are no commitments, basically. You can't wait to ravish each other. But then the reality is, the fact that you are living together, there is a sense of familiarity and routine that comes into relationships. And yes, having exhausted yourselves with the sex, I've heard a term that we've used before on this platform, nakademus. After you have exhausted the nakademus in you, there is a sense of routine comes into it. Routine.
Sorry, Jem. Admin, could you help me with this, please? Let's mute the mics.
I think someone is very scandalized by blue therapy.
I'm telling you. Okay, back to you.
Anyway, as I was saying, I think that's just for me, and it's a reality. It's something that happens. It's so real, but I'm just very now assuming this is real, even though I know it's not real. But I'm just very surprised because they're young, and you think things are still hot and heavy between them, but it's real. I guess it happens. Yeah. And then the issue of the weight thing now even makes it deeper for me, that it could actually be the issue why maybe the guy is not so into her physically. It could be, he's got a grip on his own weight. He is looking fine, he's got the muscles in the right places. His six-pack is buzzing like a phone all the time. And then he looks at her and thinks, even though I think her body is absolutely amazing. She's got curves in the right places. So he might take a look at her, haven't gotten a grip, with his own weight. He might take a look at her and maybe feel repulsed. And that could be what is responsible for that lack of initiation on his part, when it comes to sex with his girlfriend. So I'm scandalized.
I like the way you took a sigh at the end of that. because honestly, there's a lot to unpack, and I think from what Gemma said, so I want to try and address the number one thing I put down on my note here. Cohabiting. I want somebody to cohabiting. Yeah. First of all, I'm going to define what cohabiting is. And the dictionary says cohabiting is living together and to have sexual relationships without being married. That's the meaning of cohabiting. So that we have that clearly there. So I want to hear, what do we feel about cohabiting? I mean, whether or not you're on the table is not the issue, right? That's not the question, but what do we feel about cohabiting? And somebody else other than Jem, please, ladies and gentlemen, this is not the time to mute your mic.
Well,
Yes, you go. See me?
I'm not addressing cohabiting yet, but
okay, go
I
ahead.
feel like Paul is an abusive person. You need to understand the signs.
I do not agree.
The signs. Let me just finish my thought though.
Okay.
The signs of abuse there. You know, I went through a DV class, and they teach you like what I have signs of abuse. And I have a friend who is just like Paul. Sorry, a husband. Sorry, it's just the way Paul talks. The way, you know, like you meet somebody, then because they added a little bit of weight, you know, or for one reason or the other, whether it was pregnancy or they just started eating much, you know, whatever, you know, something changes in the physical value that you see in them. Remember, so you need to, when people speak, you need to understand like words are from thoughts, right? Like when people speak, words are from thoughts. Words don't just come up in the air. It said, I come home and it's African dish, African music playing, like we're in a jungle and stuff like that. Like, come on. Like, it was using a lot of words that are verbal abuse. That, like, even the therapist says something like that. That's what I mean by him being abusive. Abusive is not until when somebody hits you, but when someone does not respect you.
That's
like
where I was going to.
Yeah, it doesn't respect her, and that's and then now he's manipulating her, saying, "Babe, I love you. I'll be with you through thick and thin." But it's like, bro, you know, no, I was legit upset watching that Paul old drama, and the reason why I think it's not scripted, maybe some parts of it, you know, like sometimes, you know, in reality show, like even if you watch like the after video, they let things play out naturally, but they control the circumstances.
Yes.
So they might be in that relationship, but based on the kind of questions that they're asking them and the expected reaction that they've discussed before, they have to touch on certain things as part of the contract. But I legit think those people are in those situations for real, because there are men like Paul out there, such condescending, like even sometimes the way he looks at her, he said, "What's funny? What's funny? Come on, that guy is abusive."
Yeah. I mean, spot on to me. Part of what I have on my notes. So I have 7 things here in my notes, and one of them is respect. It's something that is very, very fundamental, you know, in all dynamics of any relationship. But I really like to also hear from other people. That there are other things I have on my notes here. So maybe even if we don't want to talk about cohabiting, what other thing, you know, from the video came out to you? I mean, somebody else, come on, ladies and gentlemen. I like the fact that the gentlemen have allowed ladies to speak first, which is, you know, shows that we have gentlemen on the call, but that does not now mean that the gentlemen should be mute. So ladies and gentlemen, can we speak, please?
Sorry, I know it's not my turn, but then it was
go ahead, Simi, go ahead.
It was like, oh, then you're eating. You should, you know, measure the palm oil, buy some spray, you know, trying to control what she's eating, how she's eating, and saying, "Oh, have you weighed yourself?" Chioma is a very calm lady. I'll have gotten her. Maybe it's part of their contract.
I can imagine.
I'll have been like, "Ogbeni, show, are you normal?"
Exactly.
like it was, you legit know how, someone is abusive because it's very confident. I'm sure he doesn't speak to his clients like that. Like if his clients were like, oh, I had every meal, I'm struggling to lose this weight because I just have a body eating habit. He's going to first of all try to explain to them why these things are wrong. Like it's not going to like disrespect them and be like, I'm not going to say bush, but like
I get you.
and he's trying to control what she eats, and the fact that, see, signs of abuse, he met her that way, and now that they are living together, he now feels like, okay, he can use that to change her, and then he's not touching her. Abusive men use that as a weapon. Trust me, these things, if you go to DV classes, they will teach you these things. They use it as a weapon because they know that a woman, craves a man, and it's like, okay, I'm not gonna touch her. She's so fat, like, come on. And that girl deserves better. She's so beautiful.
Yeah, I totally agree. And for the benefit of those that might be listening to Simi and she's saying DV means domestic violence. I'm not saying we don't know that, but I just want to put that out there. So is there anybody else? Come on, I'd like to hear from a guy.
Would you mind?
Go ahead.
Okay, so it's interesting, right? And I want to be in Paul's defense here, right? And I want to play that advocate.
Let's flip it.
First of all, you see this thing about abuse, and let's take it from that part. Paul came from, there's a part of the story that I'm not saying, that I'm not understanding yet.
Yeah.
Perhaps, and this is just following up on Simi's. Perhaps Paul doesn't want his girlfriend to get to that point where she becomes depressed. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
It's coming from a place where he was depressed being past.
Yeah.
Right. And so, naturally, by default, if you like someone, you would not want them to repeat
your
anything
mistake. True.
That you did that was wrong. So there's that possibility. Is Paul rude? I think so. Right? I think he's rude.
Yes.
Is he? I would tend to say that he's not listening more. He doesn't listen to the things she's saying. He doesn't listen to the things she's also not saying. I personally, I think that's where Paul's major issue is. Typically, again, so an average man, except for the ones that are not schooled, or rather, except for the ones that are schooled and who have learned some of these things over time. For an average man, when he starts grinding, and you give him the impression at the beginning that, oh, you love the way he pursues, his goal, he's a go-getter, he achieves this, and you love it. Something will suffer in the long run.
Yeah.
And it's going to be that time that it's going to give to you. It will suffer. And as you go up the ladder, chances are that his taste will change. And that's what has happened to Paul. His taste most probably has changed. He no longer likes or enjoys the whatever local food, pounded yam and the rest of them. We may think he is absurd. That's what he had access to at the beginning when he first met Chioma. But it may not deeply deep down within him. That may not be his interest. Yo, fantastic. This is something new I've not tried in a long while. Let's get started on this. And somewhere along the line, okay, this food, I don't like it anymore. Yeah, it makes me big. It had new sets of clients. His taste has changed, let's be honest. Does that mean you cannot work on it? I would personally think that the major problem there is, you see that communication part?
Exactly.
Okay, this is this. Nobody is listening to anybody. And it cuts across both of them, I think. Chioma wants something. Chioma is equally controlling, but she does it in a very subtle manner. Extremely subtle. She wants Paul to do X things. And but Paul is vocal and direct about his. So, and yeah, his own comes across as being arrogant,
Ye-
being
Yeah,
rude,
yeah.
being, controlling. Shopper's phone is subtle. And in all due respect to a lot of women and every woman, more women are more subtle in the way they control things and control their men. A lot of them.
Olumide,
Very few.
that
Okay, wait,
statement is not going to
Timmy,
that statement is not going to slide. Or can you give us an example? Can you give us an example how she was controlling?
Timmy,
Have you watched episode 5?
Timmy.
No, in
Have you watched
episode
episode
4.
5?
Wait.
Did you watch the end of episode 4?
Exactly. So which is where, but okay, and I like.
Yeah, but those are my thoughts anyways. So to me, this is not to attack
Exactly.
you.
Exactly.
These are just my thoughts, right? And this is not to say what you have said is wrong or right either. These are just my thoughts, please.
Yeah, and I like. I mean, what Olumide has touched on is part of what's in my note here: communication. You can hear someone because, of course, you are not deaf. You can hear what they are saying. You can hear sounds, but you don't listen. Listening is conscious. You actually pay attention to the person. But I mean, I would like to hear from someone else. And there are still some other things on my notes. Go ahead. How do you have something to say about what we just watched? I will take that as accidental mic opening. Admin, please, thank you. I would like to hear. Okay, since Ronke is pointing out Miriam, if you do not mind, do you want to speak to any of these issues, or better still, what do you feel about?
Hi everyone.
Go ahead. Hi, Miriam. Hi.
Oh, okay. I've actually seen episode 5, and I think somebody was talking about episode 5 earlier.
Yeah.
That trauma is controlling. I would really want them to be more specific on that, because I've actually been in this situation with someone that wanted me to lose weight because he felt like, oh, I had gained a lot of weight. And fun, like, I don't even know, like, to me there was not much difference when we met and at the time he was complaining. And I realized that, okay, I started trying to lose weight. I'm somebody that used to love exercise a lot, but for some reason I just don't really like exercising anymore. So I tried to lose weight, I tried to exercise, and then I don't know if he thought he was encouraging me, but then he would say things like, oh, that's how you start, but before you know, you stop and you would not do anything again. And you don't know, like, there's a way you pass a message across. Like, it's not bad if you are, like, I'm not saying you shouldn't, like, express yourself. He was saying something about Paul being expressive. You can be expressive, but you can pass your message across, like,
you be respectful.
Yes, be very respectful about it. Like, the thing, one thing you don't know is you've said what you want to say, but it's to be said, like, it's with that person. Like, it stays with that person, everything you're saying to that person. Like, I remember that time how I would feel so bad about myself. Like, why have I gained so much weight? But then I realized that every other person sees me and they're like, you've not gained so much weight. Like, I can't even see what you're talking about. But this one, he kept on, to me, it was just a lot of condemnation. And then I really thank God that whole situation is over. And it's like what Simi said, abuse is not just physical. Yes. Paul is an abusive person. When you constantly say things to people to bring them down emotionally, physically, and in any, like, with your words, with your actions, is abuse. So what Paul is doing is something that I've actually experienced firsthand. When you feel like by the time I treat this person this way, then they would now have no choice than to do what I want them to do. Like, I'm very sure he's withholding sex because he knows she wants it. So he feels like, oh, then it's going to get to her. I'm going to hurt her, and then she would do what I like. Like, that was the situation I was actually with that person. Like, there are times that he would even, this one will even tell me to my face, like, I'm punishing you for this. Like, you're
wow.
Yeah, like, I'm punishing you for, like, okay, Paul is just like
you, like, punishing. That's the word.
Yes, like, yes, that's the word he would use. He'll be like, I'm punishing you for doing this. So I'm someone that I like when we have conversations. I don't like when you give me the silent treatment. So when I do something he doesn't like,
Me, when I'm upset, I would say my mind, but he won't say anything. He would rather just punish me by not talking to me for like days. So please, I don't know, but Paul is not like my favorite person on that show. I'm not saying Chioma doesn't have her own fault, but when I see him, I understand what Chioma feels, honestly. And as easy as it is for everybody to say, oh, she should just pack up and leave, she should do this, she should do that. Really, until you are there, like until when you look at yourself and you're like, I need to respect myself and get out of this situation. Nobody can tell Chioma to leave when she's not yet ready to leave. When the day she's ready to leave, she will leave without thinking twice. Like nobody's even going to be able to change her mind.
Miriam, wow. This is getting hot. Okay. Very spot on. Thank you very much, Miriam. And I know I'm also trying to also track time, but cohabiting, what do we feel about that? And I notice everybody, we've been talking about just one of the couple, Paul and Chioma. There's still the other couple, and I have some things about them here, but we'll come to that one. Cohabiting, what do we feel about that concept? Because it's very rampant right now.
I want to say something here, and this is to all the ladies. So to me,
permission to break the table, granted.
Let's not, we'll come back to that so that they can be, can touch on every detail in my thinking anyway. With respect to cohabiting, let me take that first. I would first of all want to ask on what context, in what context are we asking this question? I'm of the opinion that people should cohabit.
Why?
Good. I think when you cohabit, just like what happened between the two of them, Paul and Chioma, and maybe Jamal and Debbie, for example, you tend to see things you never saw. You tend to become clearer. You tend to you ask yourself some of those deeper questions. Yeah, maybe because the environment, or rather when we get into this thing, not necessarily the environment, when we get to these things, you don't get to see them. You get really excited and you just move on. The worries, the troubles, the challenges, how to make the other person feel good, becomes your core. But when you start cohabiting, I think like the first lady mentioned, Jem, I think, she made reference to the fact that, as we often say, see finish, we enter, right? And yeah, when that happens, you tend to know at that point, okay, this person, will this finish continue for a long time?
But Olumide, I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
My understanding now is that cohabiting is a tool to achieve a goal. That's why you're cohabiting. More like, for lack of a better description, you're test running, right?
Sort of, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when see finish enters, like you said, and then you now say this time to leave, is the assumption that when you find the correct environment, see finish will never, ever happen?
So this is my thing, right? You would never, I don't think so. Let me not make an absolute statement here. I don't think that see finish would ever stop. It will always be there.
Okay.
But what that helps you to do is, okay, this is how far I can take this. And we all have different levels of, different thresholds of pain and endurance, right? So can I take this for another 6 months if this person does not think what they're doing is wrong or right? Or if this person does not see how they are treating me, are they treating me well? So at that point, you ask yourself some of those questions. And I think that's what is happening to Chioma in this case. She's probably beginning to ask those questions that, can I sustain this over a long period of time? This dude does not seem like he's doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't think that he does anything that disturbs her. And I think that's where Simi was going to much earlier when she talked that when she mentioned that he's condescending and he doesn't respect her in any form. And that's the truth, really. Right. But is this something I would welcome? I think it's okay. Yeah, of course, our values as Christians, puts us on the other side. And it's the sex part in particular. And it's because the church or Christianity generally, just says no to that, right? If we genuinely want to follow the principles of the Bible, it says no to that. But my take is cohabit. Okay, somebody said weekend visit. Okay, that's a new one.
I mean,
that's the nice one.
That's a very,
like
very interesting one.
I like that one too.
but
those are my thoughts anyway. Thanks.
So thanks a lot, Olumide. And I'm just looking at that question, cohabiting and weekend visit. There's a concept I once heard when I can't remember who said it, but one of my pastors was trying to explain something about courtship and when you're not yet married. And basically the summary of what he was trying to communicate is during the courtship, both parties are bringing out their best behavior. So if you are under any assumption that whatever bad you are seeing, it's going to get better, what you are seeing is the best version of that person. Person can improve with time, but that's the best. So if I go back to the question on weekend visits and cohabiting, I really don't know though, but weekend visit, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, what is the objective? Because except you are not saying that you want to be married for the rest of your life, the rest of your life is a long time. How long will you cohabit for you to know you can take what the person is dishing out? How many weekend visits do you have to do for you to come to that conclusion and say, okay, this is fine? Because if you are going to be married to someone for the rest of your life, which for most of us will live to be 90, 100, 150, I don't know how you prepare yourself for that you say, oh, this is the amount of test runs I need to do, or random sampling, or some, I don't know. I really don't know. But hey, what do I know? Please, I'd like to hear from somebody. Mayowa, I see Mayowa on the screen. Mayowa, your thoughts, comment, please. Or if Mayowa doesn't want to speak anymore.
Are you putting me on the spot? That's not fair.
That's also something about relationship, whether things are fair or not. People see it different ways. I can tell you. I mean,
cohabiting. I have no opinion about it. It's worked for some and really blew out the relationship for some. For Paul and Chioma, I think it's see finish has entered because they were doing quite well when they were not living together. For instances that they refer to, when we were not living together, he used to cook, he used to do this, he used to do that. But I think the genesis of their problem started from the moment when they moved in together. See finish entered, just like Olumide said. But my contribution is going to be very short, and that's the fact that I think we need to get to a point where we realize that it is not business as usual once the relationship is growing to, say, by time, 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years. At the beginning, there are butterflies, I understand. I'm anxious, I want to talk to you, I want to do this, I want to spend time with you and all of that. But at some point, we need to get to a point where we realize that, okay, now we have each other, let's face the business. And that impacts the time that we spend together. Now, can Paul be deliberate to create time? Of course, the complaint that Chioma made, those are basic, very important stuff. And I'm not on his side on most of what he said. He's not coming out straight to tell Chioma the real truth about what's going on. I think that's childish. Let's not go to Jamil and Deborah. I think those guys are not ready yet. So for that aspect, I think understanding and communication is key. we need to realize that we're chasing something bigger. We're building a dream, a future together. And as such, some things will be affected. And I expect that we both will understand and realize that, okay, we have gone past the stage of I just want to see you, I just want to talk, I just want to hold you, I just want to do that, I'll just close. And it's not serious business. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I thank you very much, Marawa. I saw one question somewhere here, directed to married people, that does he finish ever enter, and do you ever, does disrespect come in? I mean,
I'm happy that you're married. Please answer the question.
I mean, I'm going to quote a bit something from my current pastor, Pastor Godman. The concept of buyer's remorse. It happens that at some point you just be like, how now? But for me personally, when you get that state, which is, I think, a human thing because of the way we are wired, the question then comes about your values, your intentions, and which is why marriage is way, way beyond sex, beyond just living together. It's beyond having children. It's beyond it's a very deep journey in your life. So once you get to that stage and your values kick in, the question now becomes, so why am I here? And you remember in the video, Denise did something very interesting. She told Paul and Chioma to look at each other, and what happened? They just started giggling. That's where your values start coming back, and you just remember, because the lady or the guy that you're with, there was a time that if you did not hear that person's voice, your heart will palpitate. There was a time when that person touches you, you start to stammer. And that time still exists. It just hasn't stopped. It's just one incident. So to the second question about be respectful, it would be very disrespectful for anybody to say that they've never disrespected someone before. Because you can actually be disrespecting someone and not be aware. So yes, you can have that. But it's when it now becomes a pattern. Because if you notice from the beginning of that video, Paul was very disrespectful. He'll pause, he'll choose his words, and he'll attack. Very, very, very clear attacks. Subtle jabs that started picking up all throughout the video. So respect is a state of mind. People will say you should marry up, you should date up. It's a very valid advice. However, it's beyond dating up or marrying up and all of that. Respect is a value in itself, which goes back to what I said earlier. What are your values? So I don't think I've answered that question. I just gave my opinion. Any other married person, please feel free to answer that question. I noticed we've been talking about Paul and Chioma a lot, but I'd like us to talk about Jamila and Deborah. And I want us to go on one particular question. When Deborah was talking about the OnlyFans account, I'm just going to pause. Is that, how, can somebody help me here, please? There's someone that's not spoken and I've watched that video. Anu, I want to hear from you.
What did you say? Sorry. I'm sorry.
You see, that's the difference between
I'm listening to you. I'm
hearing
listening
and listening.
No.
So for example, if Anu and I were in a relationship now, and I've been running my mouth, and then Anu comes to say, what did you say? How will I feel? Before I know it now, I'll get pissed and say she's disrespecting me. But it's just that Anu zoned out. So I'm going to repeat myself. Anu, Deborah was talking about OnlyFans account and she dropped that bomb in there. Now I want to ask a question.
Okay.
Deborah was talking about trust issue.
Okay.
But she has an OnlyFans account. Yes, she says she hasn't used it. But how does that weigh in? You don't trust people, but you have an OnlyFans account and you're dating someone. How does that work?
Well, well, I feel like, see, I'm sorry, let me just start this. All of them in the show, they have problems. They have problems. They all have problems. And the reason why they're having problems because I don't know who sent them to go and be cohabiting. Well, I don't know who sent them. Now all of them are having still finished issues.
So you don't think cohabiting is a good idea?
I don't think it's a good idea.
Why?
It's not. You have a decade. You have, in fact, what am I saying? Decades to be together. When I stay with some, take for example, I'm living with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
I start living with a friend. Like I'm sharing an apartment with someone, and we are friends. At some point, the friends start to you start disrespecting me. Like you start saying something.
Again.
Yeah, it will enter. Like there's no how. Like because you know that this is how I do things and all.
So excuse me, Anu. But when you do get married, you will live in the same space, and
yes,
the person will disrespect you.
Yes, that one is it's bearable. Like unlike friendship and okay, like the relationship, yes, it's defined, but they're not married. Look at these people now. She's measuring palm oil with eyes. Now, guys, like the guy he cooks normally, like he cooks normally for himself. Now he cannot cook. Like they are literally doing things that they normally will not do. She's demanding sex. She doesn't have the right. I'm sorry to say, because she's not married. She's like, when last did you touch me? She's already having that mentality like, okay, we're already for that white man. Thank you. Like for better for worse mentality. Then the guy too is already thinking that way. That okay, and you should know that I'm dealing with depression. She's not your wifey. Like she's just your girlfriend. And I don't know, probably they are even, maybe they're engaged, but like she doesn't have that, how would I put it? She doesn't have that right. If they were to go to court today, the girl will lose. The guy, in fact, both of them will lose because they don't have the main document to, fight the whole thing. So, like, to me, like the sea finish have entered to the extent that he's already looking at her as fat because he's losing weight. Like, really, the other two couples, I don't understand them. That one is the girl, I don't even know the name of the other two couples, but the one that is already like, you're lying, you are doing this and that. Yeah. All of them are using their rights. They're not using marital rights in a non-marital. So like all of them, they are at fault. They are, in fact, I feel like if they all separate for a while and stay on their own, they will know the value of each other. The one that is complaining of you don't say I need to lose weight, and the one that is complaining of not having sex, the one that is complaining of the bank account issue and all, they will know the value of each other because they're already living together. They are used to that old behavior and everything, like and the old relationship to me is not still defined. Like, so they are already losing it. They are all losing it at the point. Like the girl ended up crying. So see that they have issues. They all have issues to me, like big time issues, and it's only God will help them to solve it. Because right now, right now, because for me, I tell people I don't know when I'll be in a relationship. I don't know because I can't remember the last time I was in one. But
very soon. That's why we are here.
Yeah. Okay. So like first of all, you need to define your relationship. Their relationship is not properly defined. That's why one person can be telling you about some things that like they're telling each other they're demanding rights. Nibo, I'm sorry to say, the Yoruba is at the entry. Like they're demanding rights.
Speak Yoruba, speak in tongues, like, speak anyhow.
They're beginning to demand things that they should not. You're demanding sex. For where? Are you married? If the guy talks saying no do again, okay, even if he's cheating, you don't have rights. Because if the guy should end the relationship today, there's nothing you can do because you're not married. Where's the document for show? People just know people are dating. I'm sorry to say, guys, give them 3 days, they'll move on. Another lady will enter the matter. The girls, maybe girls, your friend.
Okay, at this point, I know I might have to tell you to off him because now you're beginning to attack some people.
I'm sorry.
You're about to finish the table. You're about to finish the table right now. So let's let's calm down. Okay. I mean, there's still a couple of people on this call that have not said a word. It will be good for you to pass the mic and grab the mic. Try and feature in this recording. You know, it won't be good for you to be one of the spectators in this very, very robust discussion. Yeah. I mean, Mr. Lawrence, it would be good to hear from you though, because you're talking about red flag. Mr. Lawrence?
I'm in a noisy place. That's why I've not been talking.
But I mean, we'll manage the noise.
Hello?
We'll manage the noise. We'll manage the noise.
Okay, you manage the noise.
Yes.
Okay, let me quickly say something. I think I want to talk about the last speaker, Anu.
Yes.
Anu was talking about, okay, it's courtship. So the girl doesn't have right to ask for sex. I think they've been having sex before. But what do you think? Don't you think that's what the guy will do, even if they were married?
True.
It happens. Okay, yes, because I got married and then I got married as a virgin. But the person I got married to, even after we married, shortly after we got married, because she had enjoyed sex before marriage, before we met, but I was just coming into it. I got married because the Bible says to avoid fornication, get married. But shortly after I got married, she started denying me sex. I got frustrated to a level that one day I started crying. What have I gotten myself into? So that is what the guy will do, even if they are married. So if he's doing that one now, you can't give him excuse that it's because they are not married. That's why the guy said he doesn't want to engage in sex. You've been doing it before. Now you said the lady is fat, but she was not fat before. So the same thing if they are married, if we come back and say, now you are fat, so I don't want to have sex with you. So I don't think it's because of that. To me, whatever, if I want to, it's a lesson I've learned. I'm sorry. I got married as a virgin, but I don't think I want to try it again. If I want to get married again, believe me, no, I have to know that you love what I love, even before we get into it. I won't cover it and then pretend as if she's going to change when we got married. No. Let me know the person you are now and decide if we are compatible. If we are not compatible, let's solve it now and go our ways rather than waiting for when we get married. God is going to change him or change her.
So, sir, cohabiting is a good idea.
Well, cohabiting might not be a good idea, but that doesn't mean that you guys
so how will you know?
Get to know yourself. You know, no, you know, if let's say my kid wants to get married, like I heard that is a tradition, I don't know where. When the girl will go to the family of the guy, the boy, and the boy will go to the family of the girl to go and live there maybe for a weekend or so that they get to know what kind of person is our son getting married to, what kind of girl is my boy or my boy getting married to. With that one, the family will know, they will have advice and say, no, I think you are making a mistake. With this is what we've discovered. If I had known my wife's family or a true person, my ex, I wouldn't have married her. But I would like to know anybody I want.
Okay.
Get married to now, I must know the person in. I can't promise somebody that with that person because I must know that you love it. Let me tell you, if somebody doesn't love sex, I can't marry that person again because of the experience I had. I won't. Because one of the things that breaks home most is sex.
I agree. It's
So if you
statistically
don't, so that is it. So if I love sex and you don't love sex, and it's when we get married that we now discover, then there's no way we will break up. So that's what I believe. This is outside being a Christian or whatever now. It is the truth. Some of us, we got into it blindly and we started regretting it. That you marry somebody that you are not compatible.
Yeah.
But the sister, God will change. God will change her. This is the brother. I know God will change, and they got married, and then we started regretting later. So that's my take.
I mean, thank you very much, Mr. Lawrence. There was no noise. We enjoyed every bit of it. And there's a question that has just come in. And Ronke, at this point, I'm going to call you out. You have to talk.
If you don't mind, right?
Go ahead, Olumide.
Okay, I was just about to say thank you. I was just about to say that Mr. Lawrence and they've scattered this table that was already shaking.
Right now, there's no table. Let us agree. There's no table. We're all on the floor. So let's go.
Please, can I say something? My hand is.
Please say.
Okay. I'm so sorry, everyone, in advance for what I want to say.
No apology. You don't need to apologize. We have scattered the table, so you can go ahead.
Do you ever go to, let me just use Ronke's example. Do you go to market with your knife to cut a tomatoes into two before you pick it?
Bam.
If you want to marry, this is why it's very important we have premarital counseling. Let's shatter the table before we enter this marriage. Let the counsel see. Apart from me, if I want to get married today, apart from my church television,
not if when. When
I want to get married, yeah. I'll ask okay, apart from elevation counseling, I'll also go and see other counselors. People forget that. I'm sorry, you change your clothes, you go for shopping. When you are married, do you have this checkup? You go for medical checkup. Do you have checkup with counselors? How do you call that thing? Like, you go with your couple and like you guys go as couple, like, you just talk about normal thing. These things are very important. You are married, or even before you get married, see a counselor. If you can take your health seriously, take this your married thing, like, the whole thing, take it seriously.
Spot on.
You are having issues. You are married today. I'm like, when I get married, at least my husband and I will see a counselor in a year, at least once or twice. We can have this date every 6 months. Let's just have this mind therapy. This is how like homes are like, broken and all. You want to get married to someone, for example, see a counselor, let them ask deep questions. I've heard I don't know if you know Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo. Yes. His wife was like, when she was, talking to some couples like premarital counseling, and they were talking about they were asking some questions. That was where the girl realized that if she should marry this guy, she would have failed. Like, the guy doesn't they thought they were compatible because of all the butterflies and other things. Okay, he has a good job and all stuff. Then when they now start asking sex, all these questions related to sex, if you help her to do this, if you do this and that, then the guy started dodging. That was when the girl realized that if we actually got married, if I ask you for help in the kitchen, definitely you will not help me because of what the things the guy, like what he was saying. We don't have to cohabit. Let's go and cohabit in front of a counselor. Let the counselor ask the question. Let the counselor ask, let's have a marriage course is there. Let's deal with sex issues. Let's ask questions. Do you like sex? Okay, all those things.
Anu, let me speak to you as a guy.
Okay.
A guy naturally is wired as a hunter. If I want something and I've fixated my mind on it, if it means I need to read to pass your exam, to do that high jump, to bend, to get what I want, I will do it. When I get it though, there's a different discussion.
You are right.
Yeah, but that's how counseling will expose everything.
Yeah. Listen,
I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you that counseling will expose that.
I know. Listen. We did counseling before we got married. Actually, they told us about sex. That once you guys are married, You can do it anytime. You can do that. And then it was, yeah. You know, everything was, she got married because she thought her younger sister got married before her, and there was pressure from the mother. So that's why she jumped into, so anything they said, it's all right, it's all right. But when we got married, she now started telling, giving me excuses. And she doesn't want sex and she doesn't like sex. So it is, people can pretend. Before you get, once you now get myself, my hand has got it. What she wants is change of name. I'm now Mrs. Ladbaja. Now, it's only when she wants to give birth. That when she's asking for sex, I know that means she wants to get pregnant. So at one time I said no again, because she wanted to have more. I said no again. So you can't be pushed. I want to enjoy sex, not just for making babies. So people can pretend. Don't canceling. They are pretend. I know. Yeah. Please get this one right.
Please. And I like what Mr. Lawrence has just said. See, anybody that wants to get something, whatever it means for them to do it, they will do it. However, there are ways of knowing all these things. Of course, there's this prayer and everything, but
Thank you. At least they are.
But over and beyond that, though, and I'm not going to say some people didn't pray and all of that, but it's just wow. I mean, there's a lot, and I'm not going to even try to even go into waters that I think are quite deep, and I don't think I'm qualified to. So I will just catch myself there. Yeah. I know we have 5 minutes left based on what I've been informed. I don't care what's the plan. How do we wind down?
Something, no.
So okay, so that means we are comfortable to go beyond 7. I want to have that confirmation from Ronke before because there's a lot to unpack here.
I just want to briefly say something though.
There is a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
Fire
Yeah.
fire.
So let me talk about cohabiting.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mayowa said, cohabiting has helped some people and it hasn't. Cohabiting in itself is not the problem. It's about what goes on in the relationship, which could be aptly whether they're living together or not. And I like how we are all trying to use different words for Paul's behavior. But I like the way Miriam put it when she said that. And I kind of low-key message Ronke that we need to talk about different forms of abuse.
Yes.
Yeah. When somebody is bringing you down and you purposely, that's the difference. See, when I asked that question that if you're in a marriage, right, you disrespect your wife, I asked it on purpose. I purposely put it that way because I know that there's no way that two people will be living together that disrespect will not enter from time to time.
No, exactly.
But there's a difference between a man who in the larger scope of things honors his wife and respects her,
values,
or a woman, who honors her husband and respects him. There's a remorse. There's a way that they say things. There's a way that they put things across that makes a big and huge difference. That is one thing that you need to look out for when you are dating. How a man or a woman puts things across to you, to people around them, because it tells a lot about their headspace, who they are, and their value system. Then secondly, people can pretend and all of that, but the signs are there. The signs are always there. In retrospect, I can't even lie that I do not see the signs. The warning signs are always there. Did I know all the signs because I wasn't properly educated? I've never really dated somebody who was abusive to me. So, maybe in some instances, but when it now even got intense, that I feel like God gave me a lot of chances to just walk away. When it now really got intense, even before we tied the knot, right? The signs were there, but I ignored them because I was like, oh, it will get better. It's because we're not living together. because I was in Nigeria. I used to travel back and forth. I met him in the US, one of my vacations, but I knew he was in the US. I was like, oh, this distance is causing a rift between us. When we are together, we understand each other more, cohabiting. So it's not about whether you cohabit or you don't.
Exactly.
It's not really about that. I have a friend who cohabited with her husband. I have someone who is cohabiting with her fiance right now. I don't judge them because they are doing excellently well.
Yep.
They are okay. They understand each other. The guy respects her to the moon and back, treats her like a queen. She treats him like a king, and they are not married yet. Am I saying that it is right because of my religious values? No, because it leaves room for premarital sex. But that doesn't mean that the concept of cohabiting for the purpose of getting to know people better is bad. Because people, like everybody I've seen, people can go to the counselor. Especially if you meet people that are very intelligent. People have IQ.
Marking scheme.
IQ. Anu, let me tell you why they do IQ tests. Some people are, oh my God, the IQ level that they have. When you ask them a question, they know where you're going to, no matter how you ask it.
Yep.
Because they are very intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you will see those signs. Mm-hmm. And I think another thing that we have going on for us as Christians, we can ask God for help.
Thank you.
We can ask God for help and say, God, show me this guy, no matter how he put off a performance, let him trip and let me be aware of it.
Yes.
That's it. That's what I wanted to say, because it's important that we understand that it's not a matter of, he's not respect, he's just abusive. It is abuse, period. Yeah, it's just abusive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, see me spot on. I mean, it's yeah. There are so many conversations that are coming out of this conversation for us to have, and I'm sure Ronke is taking notes. I'm sure so many conversations are going to come out of this. And I'm happy this is being recorded. People can also see it and benefit from everything that's been shared here. So okay, Ronke, over to you. I want to hear your voice, your view. I mean,
my voice.
And see your face.
My voice.
Your face as well.
My face.
Yes. So, any comments, any views, any thoughts, or is there anybody that we missed that has not featured in this?
Well, for me, let me see so I can call them. Okay, Miriam Aspara. Bemi is there. Bemi, don't leave me.
Bemi.
Sis.
Bemi. Okay.
Olusholami too is there. So, sis, you want to share your perspective with us too? I think, Olumide is raising his hands. Miriam too.
Oh, okay. Let them speak, please.
I'm so sorry, but I didn't get to say that. Ladies first, Miriam.
I think it would be good for others to speak. Don't worry, I can just drop my hand.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So let's have Bemi. Bemi.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, Bemi.
But honestly, I think
this is my first time here, and I actually enjoyed it sincerely. It was all fun, actually. Though I joined late, but at least I was able to pick some things, though.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think basically, I honestly don't even know where to start from, but I just feel basically cohabiting it. I didn't enjoy from the beginning.
No, you say you don't know where to start.
So I just feel
start from the beginning.
For me, I feel cohabiting might actually be wrong, actually.
Okay.
because
Why?
it's actually going to give room for premarital sex. Actually, yeah.
And are you
Totally
speaking
wrong. Fine, you get
technically,
to know some things about the
realistically,
person.
or
Bemi, before you answer that question, Ronke, are you speaking from experience at the same time too? Is there something you want to share? Thank you. Bemi, back to you.
Yes, I think yes, from experience.
Okay.
I served in Abia State actually, so I used to have a copper friend like that, like boyfriend, you know now. Actually, I stayed in Winners Lodge, but sometimes I do visit him because he stayed far away from my. I served in the capital, but it was in one of those villages like that.
Cool.
So most times I just go check up on him and all. But I was in Winners Lodge, of which you are not allowed to bring a male friend to the lodge.
Yeah.
Yes, so we start having issues and all because most times when I go on weekends, I might have to just stay for the whole week and all, which I was having issues at work. I served in sports council, my boss was complaining and all like that. We had issues, a whole lot of issues because you want to get something, you don't want to get something, and I already have this mentality that NYC whatever doesn't last. So I was just trying to be careful. I was trying to observe and all of that. I do not want to rush things, but it was really pushing me like he wants it. So we're having issues. On a long run, actually, the whole thing started because I did not want it. Go! Because I did not want it. Sorry, that's my nephew.
It's allowed.
Because I do not want it. And it really caused a whole lot of things and all. I think from my experience, the only thing I got to know was there was no law because I noticed immediately I left him, he got somebody else. Like immediately, he got somebody else. Obviously, he had so many of them or so many of us. So we're just waiting for the one which of us is going to click and know. Well, to God be the glory, he did not marry any of them. Right now, he's married, of which he did not marry either of us or whichever of them he had sex with or something. The guy is married now. So I just feel cohabiting for me, it's wrong. It gets to a
Hold up.
point
Did you say
where
to the glory of God?
to the glory of God now, he's married, and whatever is going to happen in his marriage, I don't care.
This is a relationship and reality. Which one is Pastor Mayo? Stop.
We did not start the opening prayer, please. To the glory of God. Maybe continue.
The glory of God knew he's married.
Glory of
So
God knew.
for me, it's a no. We can do the whole hanging out. Yes, we hang out, we talk, we gist, do video calls, all of those things. But staying in your house, it's not going to work.
Okay. All right. Awesome stuff. Thank you, Bemi. Shola, I think that's the name that Ronke mentioned. If you're still on the line, it'd be good to hear from you.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Yeah, actually, I really don't have much, but I just, from my home view about cohabiting, it has both good and the bad side, especially if you're living in the Europe, the Western world, whereby it's more rampant. So I know about two of my friends that are doing such a thing. And of course, they are happy, and the relation is more healthy, it's better than people that I know that even they are married. Because it's number one reason why I said this is because number one, looking from the positive side, it's kind of a way of knowing the partner better, and you guys doesn't have anything to lose. And what I mean about that is that I feel marriage is more like more commitment, and it's more of commitment, and the I don't know how can I explain this thing. it's cohabitation is such a thing that like you wanted to know the partner more closer, like better.
Yeah.
And you guys share the liability and you enjoy life together. Even though if we're going to look it from the point of religious view, it's very wrong, very, very wrong, very, very wrong. And even stats shows that most of the cohabitation, if you engage in such a thing, it's mostly not likely to lead to marriage. Mostly likely not to lead to marriage. But I feel people don't want to have a kind of a commitment, like they just wanted to, okay, I wanted to know this person, not on very far level, not on dating level. I wanted to know it because, it's kind of from there, some people have it like friends of benefits, something like it, something like that.
Benefits, yeah.
So, yeah. But from the point of view of this guy, this scenario of this Paul, I feel the guy is kind of childish. For me, you can't measure relationship. You can't measure business world apart from the relationship. You have to separate it. You can't be talking clients and money. It's really it's not, it doesn't make sense. From the time when he was asking the therapist about what is success rate, I got what is it? You can't measure this. This is not a business. For God's sake. So I feel, yeah, that's my own point of view. Yeah. Maybe if other people wanted to say something. But
thank you very much, Shola. Thank you very, very, very much. So if I just listen to Shola, cohabiting is like marriage without the commitment, where you have the same scenario, but without the same will I say exposure or something. So it's kind of like, for those of us in technology world, it's like having a sandbox kind of environment from the real something. But I have my very, very.
It's not a permanent relationship, which
So the way I see it is, if the stakes are not high and there is no commitment, and then you now get into the whole thing where the stakes are high and there is commitment, do you think the results will be different? I think they would.
Yeah, it depends on both sides, on the part, on the two partner. Boils down to the value. So the reason why I said that.
Thank you very much. You've taken the word out of my mouth. Values. Values. It's a very big word. Values. Very big. What are your values? What are the other person's values?
P.
Over to you.
Who, yes, myself?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, actually, for me, can we hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can we hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Well, the characters are just so deep, right? See, everything I think is all about perspective. Like, so if someone like Simi would want to get married, I think because of where she's coming from, she's going to have a different opinion on how she wants to design a relationship, a new relationship. So I always feel that, say, there is no particular, there's no one way to a particular thing. I know you want me to, my own perspective, because for me, I don't have issues with both, because someone like me don't want to buy black market. I'm sorry. I wouldn't want to buy a black market.
And like Olumide said, like you want to test the product.
But I mean, and I know this might not be the place or the time, but I ask again. So this is me trying to liken this, and I know it might be a very bad analogy. You know, which one is black market again? I know this might be a bad analogy, but I'm going to use the technology, how people talk about applications and software and all of that. So there's the testing environment, there's the live. More often than not, when they want to launch it, they put it in there, test it first of all, and then after a while, when they're okay with it, they bring it to live environment. And even before they make updates, at times they test it in the test environment before they bring the updates on to make sure that everything is up. But one of the things I've come to realize is that there's no amount of putting the thing in the test environment that will prevent the software from crashing or having a hack when there's a virus introduced. No amount, because and you know the reason why that is. When production, yes.
But why do they put tested okay on products that we buy?
But the product must be
tested okay. Must be tested
let me
okay.
I'm putting my hat on as an auditor now. The reason why I create a virus as a hacker is because I am trying to penetrate your system. I am not going to create scenarios that are normal. In financial industry, they talk about stress testing. You create scenarios that don't exist just to see if the thing will stand. Most time when you are putting something in production, the scenarios are normal. For example, what is the probability of having a tsunami in Nigeria? Is low, but it can happen. Why? Because Nigeria has beach. There's Lagos. But when you say a tsunami, a tsunami in China or in Asia is pretty high because they've had it many, many, many times. So when you look at it from that point of view, really, there's no amount of scenario testing, there's no amount of something that can prepare you for something that's supposed to be a product that you're supposed to use forever and ever till death to us part. So when you're talking about cohabiting,
I don't know if I can ask you a question.
Can you bring this thing to the level of the
Hello, can I ask you a question?
That is confusing me once
I use another analogy. Hello?
Okay. Yeah, I'm Mr. Aaron.
Now, let's look at what we call Tokumbo in Nigeria.
Yes.
Yes, you are buying a television that is Tokumbo, and they give it to you that, no, you can't test this one. But, and you want to buy another one that is new, which they will test for you. Actually, they will test it and label it tested okay.
Yes.
Now, the Tokumbo you are buying is a blind market.
Yes.
Now, you might buy it and not be able to use it because the power that they are using where it's coming from is different from the power we are using in Nigeria.
Yes.
So if you had tested it, you'll have known that no, this one immediately plug it, the thing is. So to me, I won't blindly go into marriage anymore.
And I totally respect that.
That is me. Just not because it doesn't mean that there won't be challenges.
Because
it doesn't mean that there won't be challenges.
Because I want to go back to that your analogy of the TV. The Tokumbo one that they did not test and the brand new one that they tested. When you are testing it in the shop, they are testing it with the best stabilizer, current, everything is okay, and everything is fine.
They won't test Tokumbo. There are some that you will see nylon.
No, I'm not even talking about Tokumbo anymore. I'm talking about brand new now. Brand new. When they are testing it, the stabilizer, the current is fine. They make sure something. But as a guy that grew up in Lagos, There's no amount of testing that will happen for that brand new TV. The day NEPA wants to disgrace your TV will blow.
And then you still have guarantee for that one. But Okobo, you don't have guarantee.
You see, the interesting thing about warranty now is this. When you're talking about a warranty comes with condition. And a very sharp producer will make sure that the condition does not include when NEPA decides to do what you call natural disaster. They're not going to insure you for that.
No, a warranty that I know, especially when it comes to, let's say, television, is just the screen. If the screen is broken, then
just
it's guaranteed. But if it is the NEPA issue, light issue, they are going to repair it free of charge. But when it comes to the screen being broken, they will say, no, that was you are the one that caused it to fall down and it broke. But when it's the light, something that is not physical, they said they will repair it.
So we are still talking about people here. We're just using analogies. Because, and I like what Mr. Lawrence has come to talk about, when the screen gets broken. So for example, let's talk about this point of sex. And then you test run it, sex drive is fine, everybody's over the moon. This person can have sex 5 times a day, 4 times a week. Everybody's different, everybody's awesome. Then you get into the marriage. And then
after giving birth, yes, it happens.
And then you see what I'm talking about.
After giving birth to the boy,
I have a question. I'm confused.
Now,
okay.
I'm arrived. Then
I have a comment, if you don't mind. Yeah. Okay, so my take on all of this, right? Yeah, and really, one of the reasons why I think cohabiting in itself, right, in my view though, may not be bad, is it's really, you tend to know a lot more, right? To some extent, those parts of your values tend to align. You understand it better. That's my thinking. However, like we say, if we bring back to biblical context, is it right? The answer is definitely no. Should we cohabit? My response is no to that. But when we try to bring it to real life experiences, is it something we should look at with some modifications? I probably will be saying, can we try this out? Can we do this? But again, it goes back to what are those core values, which I think every one of us seems to have mentioned here. What are those core values that you will not do with? Why do we want to cohabit? We can start from that. You know, is it because we want to have sex, or we are missing one another's, moments so deeply or so badly? I don't know why. First of all, if we can answer that why very well, in a very objective manner that aligns with those values, those biblical values that we have, I think in that context, look at it. But when we say cohabit, I would say from a general perspective, it has saved a lot of us more of troubles, right, than, put us into it. Those of us that eventually put into it, we saw them, right? We noticed many of those things. Typical case, case study, Chioma, what's it called? Chioma Paul. It's obvious that it's better Chioma walk away because she can't cope with what Paul has. And it's cohabiting that is helping her do this, sex or no sex. You'll get tired of that at some point, which they already did. But my thoughts, my views, though, sometimes they may not just align.
I totally agree with you, Olumide. And I mean, in your stuff, talked about the why. You talked about your values, and then you talked about bringing it, whether it's the right thing to do or not. So I totally get you. So Shola's hand is up, Anu's hand is up, Miriam's hand is up. So how do you want to do this? Miriam go first, then Anu, then Shola.
All right. Hi, everyone.
Hi,
so the thing is, everything we're talking about, like, people actually pretend. I want us to have that back of our minds. Like, I know someone that I'm going to like just put it out there. So I've met someone that like, okay, we met 8 years ago, and what he said from the beginning 8 years ago was, when I asked why do you want to be in a relationship, he was like, I just need a companion, I need somebody to talk to, blah 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 blah. And 8 years down the line, he knew that he didn't want to get married, like, and he just drops it like a subtle joke, like, I don't think I'm going to get married till when I'm like 40 or something. I mean, I know that I'm not thinking of that. So I feel like it was the Holy Spirit telling me that this is the person's real intentions, but we just like brushed it off. And then when this person saw that, oh, okay, this girl is getting to the point where she's going to actually walk away if I don't like take this relationship further, then he decides to actually propose. But he knew in the depth of his heart that he didn't want to get married. Do you get?
Yeah.
2 years down the line, he finally comes back to the same reason he had said 8 years ago. So people can actually put up a show. 8 years is a long time to put up a show. Trust me, he put up a very good show.
Oh yeah.
And you know, he just knows what to say. Like actually, when he knows that it's as if this one out to get me, she's oh my jackpot. Then he starts again. And so all this one we are saying, when you cohabit, you can do all of those things.
Yes.
At the end of the day, we just really need God to reveal people to us. Like we cannot, even Jesus himself, he knew the heart of men. He didn't trust himself into their hands. We just need God to reveal people to us. Because people can stay 10 years, 20 years, and you're like, has this person been like this? Did what change? Sometimes it's really not you. The person has always known, but they just like lead you on, play along till God knows when. So somebody can act as if they have all the sex drive in the world, and their plan is that when I marry this one, I'm just going to dump her in one place. And you'll be thinking, this guy is correct. And then you marry and finish. Show has ended.
Bam.
See, God will help us. So.
Amen. Amen. And I like where Miriam has put this, and I'm going to say something, but Anu, over to you.
So, Peter, I wanted to ask. I've been asking in comment section. People are not saying. I'm asking because, what are we testing? Is it the human being or product? What are we testing this situation?
Right now, what everybody's talking is every testing.
Okay. For me, like when it comes to human, I think we need to know that there's flesh and blood, right? And okay, let me talk from doctors, doctors' perspective.
Educators.
When a woman and a man start having sex, they begin to exchange some things, like things start, changing there. That's where the chemistry is built up. So if you say you want to have sex before you get married to the person, automatically what you're feeling, your hormones are bringing out will block what the real, how would I put it, the real picture about this person. You're cohabiting with someone and you're having sex with a person. It's the butterflies, let me just put it that way, that you will be seeing. You will not see the true character of the person, because in medical terms, you guys have started exchanging some things. And why do you think parents, after some years, they start looking alike? Because their hormones and everything, it's already, there's an exchange. So it's like you are changing, DNAs are being produced, different things are happening. And so you produce a child, like let's say automatically a child will come in and the child will have your features, like, you understand?
I know. Sorry so I need to say this. Do you know what Simi just put inside the comments? She said that they will use condom, and so it
will still happen. It will still happen because the way God created us, me as a doctor, whenever I'm whenever I'm in a class, I thank God I ask God, I'm like, how did you do this? Do you know that if you start eating with someone in the same plate for so long, you get used to it, that you can't eat alone when the person is not around?
The psychological connection. Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
If you see, you can never know someone is good or the person is bad. If see, let's put it this way: if you have sex before marriage, sex is kind of like the way it's wired is like when you try it, you keep going more and more and more.
It's
You
like
can't
Pringle.
stop.
It's
Yeah,
like Pringle. Once you
Pringles
top, you can't stop.
yeah. So a time will come, you guys have done the doggy, you've done the old thing, soldier, military, everything. When everything has finished, I go open and you'll be like, I don't see this one. So even someone that is not as sexy or as sweet as that's your babe becomes attractive to you. What do you think guys cheat? Like, they have figureheads at home, but they are seeing Mankere or gown and they're going with that person because they've seen the girl, like, they've tasted, they've done all this time and they're tired. We are wired that way. Why do you think you eat a biscuit and you get tired of it? After some time, you get tired of digestive, you want to switch. See, this is how we are built. I think see, and we need Holy Spirit, like the way Sister Miriam said. Talk like to get married, to be in a marriage, you need Holy Spirit. Like, it has to be the third person. It's very important because you cannot know me finish. I tell my friends, I can pretend, I can choose whoever I choose. Like, I can be whoever I choose to be. If you want me as a pastor PA, I will speak in tongues for you. Do you know, I saw a video on Instagram, and this celebrity said because ladies are looking for men that can speak in tongues. Do you know that these guys were in the room? They started doing all this, like they were showing that they were speaking in tongues, all because their ladies like wanted them to do that. So what is there? I can't pretend to start doing whatever I choose to be. It's only God that can truly reveal who a person truly is. So for me, I would still say it. We need therapists, we need a counselor, but you can never take the position, the God factor away from it. God knows who fits you. And because God has said the person is for you, doesn't mean that it will work out. You have your part to play. You have your role to play. Okay, because God said that Mrs. Lagbaja will help me to fulfill purpose. I'm sorry, if you don't water or feed the plants will die.
Yes.
And you don't expect Mrs. Lagbaja to always turn up. The way a pastor we said, you people are friends. Okay, you're not friends. What do couples do? You sleep together, you have sex. At most, you cannot have sex for 3 hours. Claude, are you a machine? Okay, let's say you use drugs and you go for 6 hours. I'm sorry, we have 24 hours in a day. You eat. After that one, what else is remaining? We get tired of ourselves. Like, we get tired of staying with someone. So please, the God factor. Sorry, but
yeah. bring me over to you. Bring me over to you.
She has said it already. I was actually going to refer to what Pastor Kingsley said one time like that. I was listening to one of his messages. He said that some girls, or probably some girls, that is it girls or guys? I really can't remember. But I was trying to say either of them, that most of them, they have a PhD in sex. Like, they already know all the styles and all like that. You already know everything about it. Whereas you're getting married, the person you're getting married to knows nothing about it. So eventually you guys get married and you're having issues. Like, he's not doing it the way he wants, or she's not doing it the way he wants. Like, you're having issues and all. On the long run, either of you or the other party is going to cheat, which is totally wrong. But in a case where you guys are both, you don't have any idea about it, and you're coming in, you're getting married, you are building yourself, you are teaching yourself, you are learning. Do you get? I don't even understand what I'm saying. You guys are building
I
yourself,
totally
you're getting
do.
to know.
I totally do. And maybe I think the key word in what you are saying is teaching.
Yes,
you see, there's a view I have.
Yes, you are learning. Yes.
Exactly. There's a view I have that before I can call something a red flag, I will ask that this thing, can it be taught? Can I teach this person to improve or something? For example, personally, I'm a bad dresser because I'm not I don't send. I don't care. But you see, my wife, on the other hand, she got eyes for colors, taste, fabric, and something. Now, because of my profession and my wife, my dressing has improved. The guy my wife married 7 years ago is not the guy today. Let me give you a very, very clear example. Before I married my wife, I've never kept my beard. Before, ever. Part of the reason why I'm having a beard today is because my wife wants it and COVID happened. That's why I have a beard and it's not going anywhere again. So I mean, if she had said, oh, Demola doesn't blah, 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 blah. The question is, can he grow a beard? Can you be taught? Even the PhD and the novice. You were somewhere before you got PhD. Upgrade the brother now.
Do you get?
Upgrade the brother now. Or the sister.
But most times they don't have the patience, like they are not ready to. That's where the issues come.
It's not about patience. It's not about patience. Baby, you see, the beautiful thing about a learning curve is the fact that it took her or him a couple of years to learn it does not mean that the brother you want to teach will take a lot of time. No, you know the difference. She already knows what she wants. He knows what he wants. It's not all the styles you need to teach him because not everything you know. That one that you want, you tell him, this is how I want it. This is how she should do it. And when she doesn't get you, you calm her down. Do it like this. It's which is where I go back to values. And I'm going to say one thing here. It is that because there's no amount of scenario testing and cohabiting that can let you know what will happen in the future. The only way and this is my strong opinion, personal opinion, I know, is that you need to go and meet the person that can see the future to tell you what's going to happen if you want to do this thing for the rest of your life. Yeah, exactly. Jamil is the kind of guy, like, I'm very expressive with my face. So for example, for me, if I don't like someone or I don't like something, my face will always betray me. I can control myself from not saying it because I'm trying to be polite. But if the person is intelligent enough, the person will know that I'm not feeling it. So if you which goes back to values for me. Let me go back to values. If your intention when you want to get married is to be married for the rest of your life and you plan to live to 100, 150, 120, the only way I know that you can have a warranty that is valid, because even in warranties and contracts, the lawyers here know there are clauses to contracts. There's a way I would design a contract that I know that there's a particular scenario that will happen that contract becomes null and void. But if you want to have a contract that all conditions are met, every scenario is considered, there is no way that contract is not binding. You need to meet the person that can see all the scenarios, all the possibilities, and he factored it into that contract so that by the time you go into it, you are covered. Literally speaking, insurance covered. And there's only one person that can give that insurance. That's my opinion. And I'm not here to convince anybody about anybody's opinion. That's my opinion. Yiga, I'd like to hear from you. Did you say that well? Yeah. Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Been off.
It's okay. It's okay. But what did you catch? What were your views? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I think before I overstay my welcome, and I know our table has been crashed. I need to drop the mic now.
PA.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so I know we've talked extensively on this the cohabiting thingy, and say for me when it comes to relationship, like, and that is very, very important. As much as we're trying to get knowledge, here and there, I think most of the times for me is the application of it, most times we get information, but we really don't apply it in the real sense of it. Right? So I know I hear, like, we've just been playing around using the word tested, non-tested, black market, Tokumbo, and all of that. So the truth is, what matters is always like the end goal. Having the end goal for us is very, very important. And I can see everyone is talking about the God factor, which is very paramount because he's our creator, right? And we can do nothing without him, of course. However, in terms of getting knowledge, I think we just need to set our priorities right. That's just it. So even if you have sex before marriage, it doesn't guarantee a successful or healthy relationship or healthy marriage. You don't have, you married as a virgin, still doesn't guarantee anything. But the truth is this, even as much as we are getting knowledge, we ourselves, yes, is that Shola? Yeah, as much as soul, yes, we need to consult our creator, right? But our creator is not going to be the one to apply the knowledge. He's not going to be the one to help us activate in it. So the same way we are coming on the platform to get knowledge, I expect the community will not, when it comes to your relationship in the reality sense, I will not tell you, no, when he's talking, this is how you should communicate. I will not come there, and because I feel like, okay, I have given you the same way our creator, he has given us the wisdom, he has given us knowledge, because we should ask and it shall be given to us. Sorry, my camera is off. So I just feel the aspect I think we need to learn, as much as we are learning, the application of it. Now look at, just for example, look at this lady, Debbie. Just look at Debbie. Debbie would talk, is it okay? Jamel is the first official boyfriend for her, right? So, but then it's not the lack of knowledge for us, it's the lack of application, and it has to do with our interpretation. How do we interpret things? Part time, even if we are in a long relationship, whether you are cohabiting, you are self-standing, what are the conversations you have with your partner? And you yourself, what are the conversations you're having with yourself? How are you getting sense? How are you getting sense? Like, okay, for example, everybody wants, if I ask everybody will say, I want a healthy relationship. That's the end goal. But if we go into what's it called, even episode 5, this lady, the counselor, Denise, she said something on, nothing just happened. You have to walk it. So it's all about us also doing a checkup on our past relationship, checking the pattern. Okay, for example, like there are some things that used to matter for me in the past. But now my priority has changed, which is normal. You're talking sex before marriage, whether you're talking cohabiting, all those things don't matter to me again. They are not on my list. But there is something that matters to me, which is, okay, it's me putting my blueprint on the ground. We need to keep checking ourselves, like, okay, wait, are we actually on the right track? So I told you when we started, yes, I know, but I want to know. This is 3 months down the line. I want to know. This is 6 months down. I want to know if it's still the same or something has changed, because of course things change is constant, like we know. So there are something that we also need to do as an individual. We really need to work on this thing. And there are some things that lies in our subconscious. They just happen. We don't know. We have them out, but we don't know. So like Chioma, of course, she sounds so very perfect, like, like a good wife and all of that. But of course, we say it's scripted. the first episode, as the first session with that kind of a person, I would have pulled out because the values no longer matches each other. And Paul is not open. Like, let's look into this, because relationship, marriage is all about work. And then he says something in there won't be need for divorce. And I would always say this: nobody wants to go through that crap. It's a crap, like it drains us on this platform. We ever go through that. I pray that we'll never go, whether divorce or separation, or it drains you. It sets you back. That's the truth. So easy. No one would ever opt for a divorce or separation. So any marriage we see that is successful, it's because they both work. If one person is working and the other person, okay, how do I want to do this? How do I want to communicate? So we talked about communication. Maybe she say, like, you want Prada, you want Gucci, like the way my dad used to spoil my mom and all of that. Reality, Jamal is not your father. Not going to be your father. There are some things that you feel that this is me naturally. So I'm okay. If you don't like it, please just leave it. Then you are not ready. I think the bottom line is just like knowing what matters to us. What is the priority? And yes, very, very important. God, what is this? What are you saying? So I think that's my own take, is because without work is oku, dead. So while we are praying, let's keep working on ourselves. Let's drop some in doing it. So I have to keep the trend and all of that. If it is palm oil that is affecting your partner, stop using palm oil. You guys should look for a way. Don't say, no, this is my generation measure. It is an insult. We should learn to compromise, learn to meet each other at some point, like, okay. But when a relationship is not, if we are not ready to do that, then we are not ready to walk. May God help us. We can't finish relationship talk, eh? We cannot. We really cannot. And some people say they are ready for marriage. It's not even about you. Okay, put your phone on. If you are in a relationship, what are you doing at Afro Nations? I've been on Afro Nations. What are you looking for? I'm with my relation. I'm with my boyfriend, and I'm still on that. It's not just Afro Nation alone. Now went to open. Oh my God! Open to compromise, to meet each other at let's just halfway. My friends, like I remember there was a time you are comparing what your friends and our boyfriend used to have. The way they do in their relationship, you're comparing it to your partner. Does this partner of mine look like the future that I'm going to? Does it fit in the future that I see myself in? These are the questions. Is this someone I'm free to easily reach out to talk to? That, I have this challenge. What do you think? I need your counsel. Do you communicate? As in, how do you communicate? Is it the one you will be talking just me? I don't want to. Now you will talk. Now they will say you are nagging. So then now you're already seeing. You would assume you're nagging. So guys, I just feel we, as much as we are learning, please let's just keep working on ourselves. Let's put these things down and let's have discussion. I know there are some discussion we don't want to but I would tell you, like, I've learned from it, like they really as bad as they could get, it will help. So you easily know that, okay, oh, at this junction, I need to find my way and all of that. So then cohabiting, I know people have been talking about sex. We all also need to understand that the reason why we stopped saying the scarer, but the doer of his word as well. And the reason why we've been talking about sex, before marriage, no sex before marriage. And the thing is just, it clouds our judgment. It don't, like me, there is like blind my face, like my mind. So I know that there's something that I don't want to eat before I get into marriage, right? Because if I do that, I will just overlook some things. And that's the main reason. It clouds our judgment. There are some things you're meant to attend to. But because you just like, this guy is really giving me, I can't know, it makes sense. At least he's better in bed. I know his character is very worse, but as much as he's taking care of me in bed, I'm cool. But tell yourself the truth. Are you really cool with that? Like, I'm okay with this. I'm not, and all of that. So guys, divine wisdom to live our life right. We will not make mistakes. We will not fail. And I want to say this too. I don't know who this word is for. I hear people say, yeah, I failed in marriage. So if you're a single parent or you are just a single person and your relationship or your marriage didn't work because you both did not work. So you didn't fail because you didn't go into the marriage with the intention of, I just want to date this person for this minute and for this few months. And yeah, you went into the relationship with a positive vibe, a positive mind. Like, okay, oh, maybe something, it will turn to marriage. So no, but you didn't fail. Failing is not even trying. But you try to make things work. At least there will be some time you just want to talk, guys. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's trash this. Like, just like Chioma, she can't say she failed in that relationship if it didn't work tomorrow, because she tried. So I want us to stop using that word, like I failed in my first relationship failed, my marriage failed, and blah. No, nobody. You only failed when you don't try, and failure is not it's part of life. So thank you guys for your time, and I hope this session has been on high hope now to some extent, and it's been helpful, insightful as well, because for me, it made me see some things. I looked into, yeah. Thank you. Do I have anyone who wants to say before we end the call? The last notes. So anybody watching, let's say.
I just want to say something that Iyanla said. She said,
Andre, Olushola, Anu.
So,
okay.
Iyanla, she said, you have to love yourself first. And loving yourself doesn't mean that you disrespect other people. Loving yourself means that you come to your sense of wholeness, because you say, my cup runs over. But how will your cup run over if you don't even have the cup full? You are the cup. Be full before you can run over. And I think that's the most important thing in terms of like relationships and identifying like what is acceptable, what is not, and defining those things is an understanding of what is my cup, what does the fullness of my cup means to me. And just don't allow anybody take that away from you. Like, you can't have my cup. This is me. Before I can pour into you, I was.
We can't hear you.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Do we have anyone who also wants to share
Me,
the
I want to say that please, whatever we're doing, if you're still single about to enter into a relationship, you need the God factor. You can never it's the most important thing. And also, please, when you see the red flags, what you cannot endure, or what you know that you cannot, don't say when you get married you change some things. Please pay attention to those things, and if you need to use the exit door before you enter the final seat, so please use it. It's very, very important, please. For the sake of our sanity, and I think that's what I would say. Please don't overlook the red flags, and don't assume you can change human being. You're not Holy Spirit. Let God do his job. That's it for me.
Can I say something also?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, I think communication is very key, and that's why for me, I think communication is very, very key. No matter how even if someone wants to engage in collaboration or anything, communication is very key, and right question has to be asked. And yeah, that's number one. Number two, I mean, someone needs to sharpen his discerning spirit, because in this world of today, everybody is playing smart. So, and this is matter that win the whole thing. Even if you wanted to do the testing, people, a lot of stuff you can take to make it real. So, yeah, so the whole thing is God factor is there, and someone has to sharpen his discerning spirit, and discerning someone has to ask God for the discerning spirit. I mean, so that someone will be able to know this the person someone wanted to embark on for a long journey. So yeah, that's and the value has to. I mean, there are some things we know that you can't compromise. Please don't, irrespective of anything, someone should not just overlook it. It's very key. So yeah, that's my thought. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Miriam, okay. Olumide said his take is have those conversations, even if they are not convenient. Absolutely. Listen. If you don't understand, try to repeat the person. Are you saying, because this is what I am too fat? No, I'm not saying that yet. I'm just saying the food. So I needed to be, you have to be sure before you jump into conclusion. Let's learn to listen. Be a good listener. I worked on that. Before now, I don't used to be a good listener. But then I wonder why people say I am a good listener now, right? But I think because I was deliberate about it, like I really want to hear you, so I won't misinterpret you. All right. So who else? Oh. Jennifer, I would not hear your voice. And I think Miriam said, thank you. I enjoyed every bit of the conversation. Yeah. Olumide, can you unmute and share so we can end the meeting now?
Okay, I'm not
Olumide,
very
please
sure about
unmute.
Thank you. Can you finish? I'm not very sure about my internet. I think it's fluctuating. I don't know yet. But just in case you can't hear me, it's most likely fluctuating terribly. But in all honesty, thank you, everyone. Great thoughts, great views, awesome, perspectives. And I think if we have all of these kind of conversations again and again and again, my perception is, or my view is, it helps us to refine and rethink and we don't come around or go about with templates or models, that may not apply to everybody. It's unique, it's different for every one of us, I think. And the key takeaways, like I mentioned, listen, have the conversations, build on yourself. What are those things you need to build on yourself on? In my view, learn how to respect people, learn how to respect people's opinions and views, treat people right. In the end, I think Miriam mentioned that sometimes, during the conversation, it's not even about the other person. Work on yourself first. And perhaps, when you've gotten to that point, you can bring it forward. And for me, those are the critical things, I'm taking away from this. Thank you. Really.
Yeah.
Hello.
Thank you. Right. Something I would like. I can't, as in, where do I start? Hello, can you hear me, guys?
Okay, I can hear you now. I couldn't hear anything before.
Before, I know sometimes we have this insecurity in us, right? And that's like our self-esteem speaking. So sometimes we feel like, oh, you've invested a lot in this relationship, you can't afford to lose it and all of that. But then, as much as you're trying, this other person is not putting effort, right? I know it's not an easy journey to just let go, because you've come this far. You can't just let it go. I know it's not easy, but guys, I need you to always, or maybe the other guy is telling you, like, making you feel like you're nothing. You need to look into yourself, like, what are you bringing on the table? Like, you are valuable. So let nobody, no man and all of that, to look down on you, to make you feel like you're worthless. So if they want to leave, they are the one losing, not you. And that is because you know the value you have in you. You know what you have to offer. You know what you've been giving to the relationship, and you know there is no to you, that's in no duplicate of you. So even if it's gonna get someone, it won't get someone like you. I will always say that there is none of my exes I value. I know what I always offer. I know what the things I've not even offered yet. So I know we get this kind of insecurity, like feeling some about guys. We are valuable, ladies especially. We are valuable, and also to the guys. So I know some guys also feel intimidated with their woman. Guys, we are valuable. Look into your asset, your own asset. Nothing shaking. All right, guys, I think we need to come to the end of the show. It is 8 o'clock, right? And thank you. Like I said, it is an unfinished business. Like, we can't finish relationship talks. It's as in two is about is our life, is what we live for, right? So we can thank you, and I will see us in the other room, which is the group chat, and we'll continue our conversation. All right, have a blessed evening, guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you for staying with us for 3 hours. Thank you. All right, bye, guys. Thank you, PA. Thank you for your time as well. Thank you for hosting us today. We really enjoy your presence. Thank you, Anu, Andre. Thank you, Simi. Miriam, thank you, guys. Baby, I appreciate. Jennifer, I appreciate. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, have a blessed weekend. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.